The Reaper, The Maelstrom, and The Thief is a Dungeons & Dragons show by RollCast intended for mature audiences. It contains mature themes, strong language, violence, and drug references. Full content warnings can be found in the episode's description.
Hello and welcome back to the table. As usual, I'm your DM Tom. I'm joined by JB, Coogan, and Gaz.
Hello.
So guys, before we actually jump into everything today, I had a bit of a thought. We've known you guys for a while, for 9-10 sessions now. We've known your characters a little bit. But obviously you guys have had a bit of a life before this campaign started, your characters. So I thought we could learn a little bit about them. A couple of facts about them at the start of an episode.
Okay, that's absolutely fine with me.
I'll give you a little bit of a prompt, and you can just kind of you can jump off from there.
Can I look at my descriptions, or do I have to do this off by?
You cannot. You've just got to recollect this straight from your dome.
Right.
So I thought I'd start this.
But that's the question.
Never mind. I was getting too much into the character. Leave me alone.
Hang on 1 second, guys. All right, guys. So we've known your characters for quite a while now. So we're 9-10 sessions in. We've got to know you all quite well, especially through your actions and what you've been saying and doing. But obviously you have all had a bit of a past. You've had a life before this campaign started, or at least your characters have. So I thought what we could do is delve into that a little bit, beginning of every session. Just a quick little fact about your characters and the past. Just straight off your bonnet.
Sounds good to me.
Good. I'll give you a prompt, and if we just, jump from there. So I thought, given how highbrow we normally are, I'd start off with a highbrow topic. So, this one, starting with Gregor. So, Gregor.
Yes.
What was your most embarrassing sexual experience?
Oh, well, there's been so many, Dungeon Master. It's got to be the time I got absolutely wankered at, what was that pub in, was it Hedden? Not Hedden.
Just outside of Beverly.
It's not your real one.
Just 1 minute, let's just look.
The Drunken Ruby, I think you mean to say. It's what I think it is.
Velden, that was it. I'm pretty sure I got absolutely wankered in Velden.
That's not where we're all from, by the way. A little village called Hedden.
I'm trying to say character here, guys. Come on. Well, basically, I was in Velden and I had a couple of drinks and, it went to my head. And I thought I was chatting up this Dragonborn. It turns out I was completely wrong. Turns out I was chatting up, I think it was a code wreck, I believe. Oh, yes, wasn't my brightest moments. But I was happy going to bed with it. But I think the bar staff stopped me. So I went to bed alone, unfortunately, that night. So I didn't even pull.
I mean, does that really count as an embarrassing sexual experience then if you didn't even pull?
Well, I think the others had a good laugh about it. And I couldn't remember.
We did. Yeah, we did.
I'll accept that. So next up then, Iyvak.
Well, it's rather inappropriate to be asking a monk about such things, but I must admit,
This is going to reveal a lot about Iyvak's character this next couple of sentences.
I
This is going to explain all of that frustration Iyvak has.
Just let it roll off the tongue.
I've never done it.
I mean, it makes sense for a monk, to be fair.
We find it more enjoyable to
Just
pleasure
walk.
ourselves and not tempt ourselves with appetites of the flesh.
I'm just going to... Rag. I'm not even going to touch that. It sounds like Iyvak does that enough himself.
Are we on me?
Yeah, Rag.
I didn't think it'd be a question like that.
We're highbrow sure here.
Is that what highbrow means? I didn't even
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, okay then.
Same question.
Same question.
Okay, well, mine was when I figured out what you can actually do with a flute.
What can you do with a flute?
I feel like I need you to elaborate on this, but I also don't want you to elaborate on this.
Well, it's rather straightforward, really.
It must be a
you
very
see,
tiny flute.
No, Gregor, it's not. You see, when you're a bard and you learn to play instruments, then it's not just... there's different ways of playing. So I can create musical notes with my lute. Also, some further notes downstairs.
The last session,
Is that
Gregor
Yes, believe me.
Is this
Believe
your
me,
most
if you cut off
embarrassing
the air supply of a flute, you'd be surprised what it can do.
yeah, actually, Gregor raises a good point. I don't understand how that's embarrassing. You're just using the suction from a flute to masturbate yourself with.
You're just showing off at this point.
Yeah, well, I was showing off. That was what the problem was. I got locked away for quite some time for doing that.
Suddenly, the reason why Rag was on Zavir's bane becomes all the more apparent.
Let's just
Rag was
say,
the only one there who wasn't arrested unjustly.
let's just say I've learned to not do that on street corners anymore.
I've learned to not do that around, schools and parks and stuff.
well? And so, dear DM, what would yours be?
Yes, tell us.
I'm an omniscient DM. We don't do stuff like that.
That sounds as bad as me being a virgin.
Sounds like you've got more to hide.
So, last session. Gregor and Bimit flew off to lands unknown, whilst Rag and Iyvak stuck with the expedition group and continued on their long, long journey to Menno Peaks and the Mithril Mines. Around about half a day later after travelling, when they were taking up rest, Rag, you and Iyvak, well, specifically you to begin with, noticed a speck on the horizon getting closer and closer. Unfortunately for you, the rest of the group didn't actually seem to take you seriously, especially after some of the comments you'd made earlier. Luckily, though, it turns out this spec was Gregor and Bimit returning back after their half-day trip to parts that you did not know of. After they rejoined you all, you headed further south and finally reached some forests just on the outskirts of the village of Menel. That night you made camp, And Iyvak, you headed out to scout out the village of Menel itself after Surik had warned you all in your dreams that there might be opposing forces at play nearby. Unfortunately, at that time, you couldn't really spot too much, apart from some weird glowing lights next to the houses. As this was going on, Rag, you and Gregor both decided to hunt a little bit, and in your attempt at hunting a rabbit, you actually found a man who had, by bad luck, broken his ankle and also crushed a rabbit that he'd been hunting. Unfortunately for him and for you, you weren't able to heal him. Your half-orcish hand's a bit too rough. However, is that the most embarrassing thing? Luckily for this man, though, Gregor ended up returning and finding you and him pretty much not in a compromising position, but not in the best, considering, broken ankle. Keep on saying luckily for this. Gregor, you then healed his ankle, fixing it completely fine. And in his gratitude, he gave you a bag of beans, which Rag promptly took, and offered you some stew that you would pick up at some point or another. Unfortunately, you weren't able to find him later, but I have the feeling you're probably going to hold him to account for this.
We will.
The next morning, before you all set off into Menel, Raynor, one of the other bodyguards on your expedition group, raised quite a good point in that this was a small village with, small village people in it. Seeing a dragon, even if it was a smallish dragon, would probably set them off. However, both Gregor and Bimit didn't seem that perturbed by this, and Bimit actually took Gregor's backpack away, and within a couple of minutes, Rag, you spotted a weird-looking person with bright red hair approaching the camp. Iyvak, at this point, you were meditating, so you didn't really notice it at first. But eventually, you both came to realise that this humanoid figure was in actual fact Bimit, who had, after being forced to mature at a much faster rate due to the consumption of gold, he'd managed to essentially unlock a racial trait which allowed him to transform into a humanoid. With all of this explained and quite a few apologies from Rag from the way he treated Bimit previously, i.e. trying to break him, you all set off into Menel itself. During your trip into Menel, Iyvak, you were told by Amrius the backstory of the town, after a bit of insistence from Amrius. He also explained that the lights that you saw that night previously had actually been in new mine crystals that the elves had found within the mines themselves. You guys passed through Menel and entered into the entrance of the mithril mines. After travelling for what seemed like a long stretch of time, almost infinite at times, wondering if you would ever actually see daylight again or see an opening, you guys came out into a cavernous expanse, signalling the actual opening of the mithril mines themselves. So you are all now stood, as I said, in a very large, very cavernous expanse. There are hundreds of stalagmites stood around the floor, and quite a few stalactites dangling from the ceiling. In front of you, in this cavernous expanse, are moving figures in the distance. It's a bit hard to tell who they are or what they are, because they are quite far away from you. You would guess that the overall space of this expanse is around about 200 to 300 square feet, and these creatures are probably about 50 feet away from you. Unlike the walls, unlike the entranceway, there aren't any crystals embedded into the walls. A bit further on, just beyond the actual figures themselves, it does look like there are some more glowing areas, but rather than it just being pure white, there are different coloured glows occurring.
I'm going to cast Dancing Lights.
Okay, do you need to roll anything for that, or is that just a straight up?
No, it's just straight up cantrip. Just cost an action. Four torch-sized lights. I'm going to send 2 off into the distance. Maybe, I don't know where, 30, 40 feet ahead. 20, 30 feet ahead. And I'm going to keep 2 with me. I'm going to have them move simultaneously as I move forward, always keeping them ones in front 20 feet ahead.
Okay. Okay, so the ones that are, did you say about 20 feet ahead?
Yeah, 20, 30 feet.
Okay, so you kind of like, I'm assuming just like a little strum on your lute or something to generate these lights around you. 2 of them just poof, straight into existence and just float slowly ahead. As they're floating ahead, you can see that, strangely for what is essentially a cavern, the floor itself, despite the stalagmites, is actually quite clean in the fact that there doesn't seem to be too much dirt. There's stone and a couple of pebbles and whatnot, but there's not dirt itself. There's no mushrooms. There's no insects scurrying around. It does look quite bare. As you're all starting to walk forwards, Amrius just kind of takes a step and stops for a second before turning around to address the group. He turns to you and looks at you all. Before we traverse any further into the mines, I do believe that it would be wise of myself to tell you potential escape routes. You'll see we are deep underground now, and if anything was to go awry, it would be prudent of us to be able to escape and regroup relatively quickly. My boy Ebchar had quite an ingenious idea, and that was to place one of my runic weather vanes at the entrance of the mines just outside of Menor. So if anything untoward does happen, we are able to portal out immediately to the entrance. Bearing in mind, though, that doing so will be quite the drain upon myself. There are quite a fair few of us, and transporting all of us at once is, as I say, quite the drain. So it would be prudent to only do this the absolute direst of emergencies.
Indeed.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Not only that, though, that would mean that we should never lose sight of yourself.
Yeah, I believe that it would be a good idea for us to, for the group in general to stick together. Mines are notorious for, what is the word, for being deceptive. Essentially, if we all stick together, even if we get lost, we'll remain together, whereas if we split up and go our separate ways, it would be very easy for, say, one group of us to progress, find the temple as needed, and the others to walk around in circles for potentially years until our demise.
Indeed. I just suggest that sometimes these things are unavoidable.
They may be, yes.
I'm just making the party aware. Let's stay together as a group, watch each other's backs.
Sounds like a good idea. As you say, there may be times where this is unavoidable. However, as the leader of the expedition on those occasions, I will deign it worry enough what the team should be split into, dependent upon our skill sets and the ability to regroup.
So what is our first form of action? Yeah.
Well, I am very glad you mentioned that, Ragnarok. Our first group of action would be to find some of the Crystal Elves. I believe you can probably see them in the distance. Gestures behind them to the shadowy figures moving around and the slight glows. I believe our first port of call would be to find some of the Crystal Elves and discuss matters with them. Tell them why we are here. Tell them that we know about the Temple of Merkel and how we are here to help resolve it. However, that does actually, thankfully, lead me to my next point. You see, elves and tieflings, hundreds of years ago, did not get on too well. And if these crystal elves have sequestered themselves away for centuries, they may not react too favorably to a tiefling.
Well, I don't think I should talk to them.
Indeed.
That's very well. I would also probably, I believe that may be a prudent move, Ragnarok. You do have the ability to either endear towards people or immediately make them wish to murder you.
Well, I think we should send Iyvak.
I was thinking, right.
Just as you said that, Raider's just like, why the fuck would I want to talk to these glittery, poncy
Yeah, don't send him.
elves? That we are like, oh hey Raider, you're so cool, but like, I know it, baby.
You are an elf, aren't you?
I must admit, Ragnarok,
It's again.
I'm rather flattered,
Gregor is-
Ragnarok. You choose me to
Well, you're good at keeping the peace, Iyvak, aren't you?
hardly. I do my best though. But I would say it is our companion's here expedition, and he seems to have a way with the word. Maybe we could leave it to him, and we just step in if things get a little bit.
I know. Just a suggestion.
I am extremely flattered that you put my name forward, being the person that needs protecting as I am.
Yes. and Gregor, he's not an elf.
Me?
No, Raynor.
I could happily do it, as long
No,
as they...
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you've just called Raynor an elf. I'd stand back.
Well, I'm happy to talk to these crystal elves.
Appear.
It appears that they're probably listening to
Gregor, that is not what we were saying. However, if you're volunteering to talk to the Crystal Elves, then I would have been happy with Iyvak, seeing as he is the leader of your group, but I suppose a cleric is as good a person as any to talk.
Well,
I think he's already found the mushrooms.
Why don't me and Greg both go?
There was one time.
Yes, that would be even wiser. You see, Iyvak, this is why we suggested you talk. You come up with the smarter of the ideas, and not talking about how people may or may not be elves. Just glances sideways to Raynor.
Indeed. We'll both go. I was just being cautious.
Very well, though. It is always wise to be cautious.
I'm just to whisper to Gregor as we set off, and also I don't really seem to do that well in these situations.
Fu, do you mind coming with us as well?
So you say this, and Fu just kind of steps forward. He kind of like doesn't push past Raynor, just kind of a very gentle shoulder barge past Raynor as he does. Yes, I can come along. Not really sure how much help I'll be, but yes.
Well, a bit of protection, that's what I'm thinking, just in case these crystal elves are not in the best moods for talking.
Fine, I'll come as well then.
But if you want Rag, that's absolutely fine.
I don't believe anyone was asking you to come along, Ragnarok, but I suppose, we're already literally splitting the group up. There's 4 of us here, 4 of us going to them.
And after all, what should I do if they attack me?
Who just kind of looks at you. I thought you were a monk. Can't you look after yourself?
No, apparently not, according to some.
Come on,
He's got his hand on his katana, and just starts walking forward quietly.
Yeah, well, I will walk alongside him.
After about 20-30 seconds of walking, almost out of nowhere, two large figures kind of like step out. These figures are completely hairless, but they have pale white skin. They are very bulky and very muscular. However, as you're starting to look at them, you see that on their skin they have numerous growths on them. They have growths kind of like on their arms and their hands. The ones on their arms kind of come upwards and spike out like pauldrons, and the ones on their hands kind of like cover their hands into sharp claws. Takes you a couple of seconds to spot, but these growths appear to be crystals.
Do they seem hostile?
Not really. They've literally just stepped out to stop progress, but they don't necessarily seem hostile to you.
I just hold my hands out and just like, greetings!
So, they both look down at you. They're a little bit taller than you, which is surprising, seeing as Gregor, you're like, what, 6 and a bit feet? But yeah, they are quite tall. They look down at you, and as they look down at you, you can finally see their face. Strangely, there's no crystal growths. On their actual body itself, there seems to be relatively random crystal growths, with the exceptions of their arms and hands. They've kind of like got these yellow hides that are covering their torsos and their groins, but their face is almost completely clear. They've got like white, hairless, slick features around, very sharp pointed ears. However, their eyes are refracted. It almost looks like their eyes are made out of crystals of different colours. As they've stepped out in front of you, they've both kind of like, they've got they've got a spear each, which kind of forms a cross. They've lent it across, so they're kind of blocking your path. And you can see that these spears are also sharpened crystals.
Okay, I'm just gonna whisper to whoever's to my immediate right.
That would be Gregor.
Gregor, is this what Crystal Elves typically look like, do you know?
Never seen a crystal elf before, to be honest, Iyvak. I'm guessing this is what they look like. I mean, they look like elves, they got the pointy ears, and they got crystals forming on themselves, so I'm gonna go to the jump and think they are crystal elves.
Good enough for me.
I just nod.
Carry on.
As you two have this discussion amongst yourselves, the Crystal Elf guards just kind of look to each other, then look back at you. A beat passes, and then another. And then finally, they speak in a long, dead language that you have never heard before. They say, "Attendus ici, jusqu'à ce qu'il y a vous rencontre."
French.
Oh, wait. Can I put my hand out and just say easy, easy, and can I just touch one of them on the arm?
As you touch one on... Oh, let me roll for this, actually. As you reach out to touch one on the arm, the other one just immediately, with the like crystal sphere, just whacks your hand.
I just
Maybe
wanted
not.
to cast tongues.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Attendus ici, jusqu'à qu'il y a vous rencontre.
I'll tell you, we don't know this language then.
You know what, actually? Roll me history with disadvantage, because like I said, this is a long, dead language.
Is that for all of us?
That's for... Yeah, because all three of you are there. And you know what? I'm going to roll it for Phil as well.
What's the roll for?
History with disadvantage.
It's a natural one for me.
14.
8.
Rag. Actually, let's work downwards. So, Gregor, did you get 13, did you say?
I got an 8.
I got
What did
14.
you get, Ivor?
I got 14.
Okay, so Iyvak, with that 14, you can recognise that modern Elvish, or some sub-languages of modern Elvish, have their basis, or have at least some similarities to this language that these Crystal Elves are speaking. However, it is different. It's very different. There's basically only one or two words that you're picking that you don't even know, but you've heard modern elves say, essentially. Do you know that there's ties to Elvish in there somewhere, but at some point or another it's just kind of split off and diverged?
I'm going to pass that to the group and say this is Elvish. There is Elvish in there, but it seems to have. There seems to be something else in there that seems to be quite indecipherable.
Right. Well, I know a bit of Elvish, so I'll give it a go.
Failing that, I suggest hand signals.
Gregor, with that 8, whilst you might know Elvish, you don't recognise any of this.
Oh.
It's completely unknown to you.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Rag? So for you, it's more kind of like bewilderment than anything else for you, but you kind of like, you try and repeat it back, almost thinking it might be a greeting of some sort. Yeah, you say it back very wrongly. Their crystalled eyes kind of like just creak inwards, and you just hear "Sassy Silly."
Yeah.
They say it again. They say "Sassy Silly." Fuck you, "Sassy Silly." And one of them reaches out and grabs you.
On my way, on
You've
my
got
shoulder?
Yeah, on your shoulder. He just kind of grabs you quite firmly on the shoulder.
I'm gonna grab his hand, hold his hand on the top there, hopefully prevent him from doing any damage.
He's not trying to
I'm not
damage you.
gonna try and hurt him, but
Can I
He's not trying-
look at him? Like, try and look at his eyes and just be like, please release my friend.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
That's with my eyes as well, though. Yeah.
Oh. Alrighty. I forgot about that. Yeah, if your eyes are glowing bright purple, casting some of the only light in this area. I need to load something up really quickly. As you kind of, you just kind of like step next to him, get his attention. And as you do... Yeah, let's go. Just immediately, let's go.
Can I? I was going to say,
Put
can I
a
just...
friendly smile on my face and go like that.
He's not quite sure what to do, but he just kind of nods his head slightly. They don't move their spears or anything still.
Yeah, and I'll be like,
Can I?
and then I'm gonna turn around and be like, does anybody speak Elvish?
I just literally say in Elvish, friend.
Ah, of course, Gregor. Maybe you might be the best candidate for this then, as they do speak a hint of Elvish, I'm noticing.
I'm
Okay,
going to
so
use very simple words.
as you're saying, what are you saying again? Sorry, friend.
Friend.
Okay, as you're saying that, roll me. What would it be? Roll me a. Just roll me a persuasion check. Just a straight up persuasion check.
Woo! Persuasion. 21.
So as you're saying that, they kind of cock their head slightly. There seems to be a slight recognition, as one just says quite questioningly, Ami?
Do I understand that?
It seems like they might be saying friend back in their language.
Yes, Demi.
What did you say, sorry, then?
Demi.
They're just... Give me a second.
Does it mean asshole in their language?
They kind of tilt their head just kind of inquisitively and look you up and down. The other one, again, the one that you're not currently speaking to, again, a bit of a softer tone this time, but attendez ici jusqu'à ce qu'il y a vous raconte.
I just hold out my hand and just say in Elvish, hand.
He doesn't react, he just continues staring at you.
Does anybody else here know what this language is? I'll signal to the others.
Yeah.
Put with my lights. Bring two of them lights across, just so it's lighting up us, these elves, and the group behind.
As these
To
lights
encourage people to come forward.
As these lights are kind of like filling in the gaps between the two of you, you kind of hear like a shuffling behind you, behind the guards, in fact. And as that happens, or as that shuffling grows louder, you see that the two spears just kind of like shing and open. Stood in front of you now. You're in. Stood in front of you now, like the other two elves that you've seen, is stood a completely hairless elf. He's got bright magenta eyes. You can see that they're only the sclera itself. The irises seem to be the same colour, so similar to the two guards, but his eyes don't seem to be fragmented like theirs. His skin has taken on it's like a pale grey type of colour, and any areas that aren't covered by actual skin, any area that is uncovered essentially, has crystals kind of like covering them. His crystals are covering basically all of his forehead, so they're kind of embedded in his forehead, almost like a ringlet. It's like these dark red crystals. He's got extremely high and sharp cheekbones, a small pointed chin, and his ears, like the other two, are pointed high and backwards. As he opens his mouth to smile at you, you can see his teeth have become jagged and yellowed. But unlike the two guards, he's not actually wearing any clothes. But he's not naked as such. He has just crystals embedded all over his body. His arms are covered by blue crystals which come all the way up to his wrists and stop just shy of his spindly grey hands. His chest and his groin are completely covered by growths of white crystal. They almost look like scales in a certain light. And on his legs are the same blue kind of crystals that are on his arms. He just smiles at all four of you. He just kind of walks through, and as he walks through again, he utters the language of a long dead language. Bonjour.
Oh, can I just
It is
put out my hand for a handshake?
As you extend your hand, and Iyvak, it's not French. What are you on about? There's no such language as French in Iyvak. He reaches out and I see. I see you understand our language.
Petit.
Very.
A small amount. Okay. And as he says that, you feel his spindly hand wrap around yours, Gregor, for a handshake. This is not how we normally greet amis as such, but it is not often that we see and don't work for many new faces. They are normally the people from Menel.
As I continue shaking him, can I cast tongues?
Shaking him.
As I'm just shaking him about. You can, yes. Does that require any?
It literally. I need a component. A small clay model of a Ziegler.
See, this is an interesting thing because generally we've not really used components for spellcasting, so I mean I can start making you guys use components.
You can do if you want.
Yeah, after this one.
I was going to say, I'm just going to roll a d20 here. Anything above 10, you don't need the component for. Anything below 10, yeah.
You do.
It's a 15, you don't need a component to cast tongues on this.
Right, it's just literally a touch.
Yep.
And the duration lasts for an hour, and this spell grants the creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears.
Okay, so as you touch him and you cast tongues, there is kind of like a slightly pale light that engulfs both of you.
I'd just say, greetings. I think you can understand us a bit more now.
Yes, we are able to come to an accord, yes?
Yes. That's fine. I thought this would be a bit more easier than us just struggling, shouting at each other with simple words.
Oui. What would you, why are you upon our abode? Where are you here? Are you for the crystals? The shop?
Actually, we're looking for a temple.
Oui, the temple on our mining floors. Yes.
We're looking to explore that. So we've heard that there's some stuff going on over there.
He just kind of like raises his. He doesn't have eyebrows as such, but like the burns where the brow are, just kind of raised slightly. Why are you, God, that wasn't French, that was fucking Romanian. Why are you here? Shit, I've lost the voice now. And why are you, wanting to, explore the temple?
Well,
German, fucking hell. It's just shit. It's the tongues that you've cast are causing his accent to shift every so often.
Well, glad you asked.
Well, basically, our friends over there. I just point back to like the others, Amir, Sepcha, and stuff like that. We're with them, and we're looking to explore this temple.
Oui. And again, where are you, how do you say, exploring the temple?
Yes.
No, why?
Oh, why? We've heard some disturbing stuff about a cult going there, and about, and I just lean in and say about plinths.
He just leans in again. What are plinths? I do not know this plinth that you are speaking of, but it's a cult that there were maybe people who. Jesus, that was very German. There are people that are here. Jesus Christ! I should not have chosen French. I should have chosen German. There are potentially people who are already down in the mines themselves.
Well, these
these
plinths tend to be incredibly dangerous for yourself as well. They're not really something you want to mess with. We've had a run. We've had a run-in with them a few times, and there seems to be foul magics around these items. Have you ever heard of the Yonti?
Just give me a second.
Iyvak, I don't think you can.
Listen,
I don't think you can understand.
there's a pond.
He can, Greg. Rag. He's had a spell on him.
There's a pond. Why do you ask this of me? Of more?
Have you ever encountered one of these?
Oh no! The pond is disgusting, disgusting abomination.
Yes. Well, it seems to be a plague that seems to quite dangerously ravaging through these lands, these creatures, and there's just foul magics, and these plimps seems to be a power source of theirs.
And why do you think the plimps are in this building that's appeared in my minds? You must understand it has been very unsettling for more. The temple is appeared out of nowhere and trapped many of my people in the lower areas of the mines. They have not been seen in days or weeks, one fortnight.
Ah, well,
Fortnight.
Perhaps we could be of help then, because we wish to enter and maybe able to resolve the problem, which we will do, of course. There's any
That's
opportunity.
très bien. How would you suggest to solve the problem?
We have many warriors.
Got a good point.
And like I said, there is already a group was traversed into Le Mans, arrived a few days ago now. About these 10 years. This group, they said that they would be able to go, how you say, rectify the issue of on temple on the mines. However, none have been seen since year.
Well, hopefully with your permission, we were allowed into this temple, and we can explore it for ourselves.
You understand, I cannot, once I lead my people and all of the Crystal Elves and commerce on the top level, I do not have authority over the temple itself. You are able to go into Le Mans, of course. If the deity does not wish for you to enter the temple, then you are, how you say, shit out of luck.
That makes sense.
Oui.
But go on, continue.
However, you do have my blessing that you and this group and the dirty tieflings over there are able to traverse my mind without any problems. In fact, the show of how would you say the show
Appreciation.
of bon volante, goodwill. You are able to peruse the shops on the floor. It's mainly crystals.
Do you have any weapons?
He just he kind of looks around for a second, and then he just shouts, "Guns!" And two of the other guards come running by. We have spare how you say spears, the crystal spears.
Do you have anything range?
Repeat, s'il vous plaît?
range, like as in
range. I thought you
Oh.
said rage. None.
No.
Regretted none.
Alright, I just look at Rag and think, well, I'm shit out of luck, so I'm gonna go.
You use the little too.
I just look at the others and just tell them to come over.
As you're gesturing, the rest of the group follow. You do notice that both Amris and Ebchar, whilst they are coming over, they are kind of keeping a bit of a distance back, almost like they know that approaching the Crystal Elves might cause some kind of incident.
Don't worry, Amaris, Ebjar, it's all fine.
Keep your head down. Move along.
Yes, that was my intention in the first place. Believe me, my father and I do not wish to cause a diplomatic incident.
I just go to Amrius and just say, we've been allowed entrance into the temple, but it turns out if the deity, the celestial, does not like us, they can easily not let us in, if that makes sense.
How typical of a misinformed elf, such as one of those, to not understand quite how this works. No, he is incorrect, and as he says that, you see this leader, the leader of the Crystal Elves, just kind of look a bit offended, because obviously now he can understand. No, it's just not so much that you will be not able to get in if they do not have the favor. What it will be is that there will be various tests, no doubt, to prove that one is a true believer of the temple one wishes to visit. The outer areas, anyone will be able to approach and walk around. However, the interior areas, the ones that are only for devout followers as such, my boy, we'll have to have numerous tests, no doubt, to show our dedication and cause. However, we will burn that bridge down when it comes.
May I suggest, gentlemen, we continue this conversation further in the night?
Yes, it might be a good idea.
Yes, let's go. I just turn to the leader and just say, thank you. What's your name again?
Je m'appelle Ilya Shardlight.
How do you spell that?
Let me see if I can remember the alphabet. Ash, L, oh wait, no, Ash is H. Shit. I-L-Y-A.
I-L-Y-A.
Shardlight, S-H-A-R-D.
Yep.
L-I-C-H-T.
L-I-C...
G-H-T, sorry, G-H-T, so light.
G-H-T. Shardlight.
Yes. Shardlight, yes.
Lovely.
As you're saying, as you're kind of walking by...
As I walk by, I'll say, speaking of lights,
We?
I click my fingers and have my lights back to the formation.
Yeah, they just kind of follow around the outside of you. As you pass by, he just kind of looks at you, going beyond, obviously, and just, bon chance, traversing the mines, the temple, word of attention, the mines have been abandoned for the last 2 to 3 weeks, so some of the creatures that are normally scared away by the noise and minerals and what's not may, how you say, be present.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Where are my manners? If you follow the road down down, down, just kind of signals with his hand. You'll find the elevator, and that will lead you down to the mines.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
let's
Brilliant. Let's go.
let's head off.
Okay, so yeah, you all just continue walking then. You pass, as you're walking, you realise that you are now entering kind of like the trade area, so where he was saying that you could all shop and whatnot. As you are all just passing by, you see that there are makeshift tables. They're kind of almost like slabs of wood. Not slabs of wood, sorry, slabs of stone. And on top of the stones, there are a variety of crystals. Each table has a different coloured crystal on them, but it's only that type of crystal on one table. It's kind of opened up slightly, and it seems a bit more welcoming than that initial entrance, and the area is a bit further back. If you were to hazard a guess, this is where, if people are trusted enough to come into them, if romance into them, this is where most people would see. Like before, there are a lot less of those direct white lights. However, as you're kind of passing by the tables and you're seeing just kind of like odd looking crystal elves, some of them even making like a clicking noise as you pass by, and their heads just kind of following you. You notice that the tables, the crystals on the tables, are giving off a lot of ambient and diffuse lighting. It's creating like gentle glows of varying colours, not across the entire chamber, but in your immediate vicinity. For a couple of minutes at least when you're passing through, your lights aren't really doing too much due to the diffuse lighting. However, as you're kind of looking, and there's just silence apart from the occasional like drip, drip, drip of water somewhere, and the occasional like clacking, clicking noises of some of them, is pretty much silent. And there's something about that silence and the odd reddish, bluish glows that are casting long shadows across their faces. Something seems a bit ominous. You're not really sure what it is, though.
You said that there's a shop, like in a room kind of thing, or
This is the shop. The shop area essentially are all of these tables with the crystals on them. The shops are basically the crystals.
All right. Is there any merchant that we can see that be selling them, or?
It looks as though the crystal elves that are stood behind the tables might be the merchants.
Oh, there's one person behind each table.
It's like every table is an individual.
Do these crystals look of any value?
Roll me a perception check, please.
Natural 20.
Okay, and now I want you to roll me a constitution check.
Oh no.
Check or save.
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 Roll me a con save, please.
Natural 1.
Ooh, it's been a long time
There's
coming.
a wrong way around that, isn't it?
It's been a long time coming.
If I had a natural 1 on trying to figure out whether they were of any value, that'd have been alright.
Yeah, you wouldn't have needed to roll this. Okay, so Iyvak and Gregor, let's do it this way. Iyvak and Gregor, you were both passing through the shopping area, along with the rest of the group. As you have passed through, like, darkness descends once more, and you notice this time, actual darkness descends. Rag's lights are no longer following you. Instead, about 20 or 30 feet away is a lift, an elevator essentially. The lift itself consists of a wooden base with metal-linked fences all around the side, and a rolling metal gate on the front and the back of it. On either side of the wall are 2 red crystals, and it casts a deep red light all across, like the immediate floor and the actual elevator itself. There's also a lever. A crank on one side. However, as you're approaching it, like I say, you've realised Rag is no longer following you. Rag, as you're passing through these areas of shops and whatnot with all these crystals, you realise one important thing. One thing that had been mentioned before and that comes into your head again. These are new mine crystals. Whilst they might be inert new mine crystals, that means one of three things. One, they might be able to be rendered powerful again, especially given to the right people. Two, regardless, you could probably fool some people into thinking that they were the real deal. They certainly look it. And three, they are incredibly valuable in the right hands. Which of course means that you feel that familiar tug deep within your soul once again. That you have to earn. You have to earn at least 20 of them. At least. In your head, in your heart, in your soul, it doesn't matter which ones, it doesn't matter what colour. There are a multitude of the colours. And yeah, it doesn't matter to you which one, which colour at all. You just want those colours. Want those new mines.
I was going to say, are we near the shops or are we near the elevator at this point?
You at this point are at the elevator. You're approaching the elevator. However, you have now noticed, simply due to the fact that Rag's lights are no longer with you, that Rag has stopped.
Have you seen Rag, Iyvak?
No, last time I saw it when we were passing those tables back there.
What was on the tables?
Yeah, just those fancy crystals.
I'm going to start walking over
Can
to
can I roll to see if I remember about Rag's disability in a way?
Roll me a history check with disadvantage because it has been so long.
How compelled am I to...
Incredibly.
Yes, but with me being aware of this, can I seek help? Because what I want to do is I want to call out to the others to try and stop me from doing it.
Not with that natural one, you can't.
Well, I would say regardless of that, now Greg's mentioned it, I'd be like, well, I'm going to see where he is because I'm keeping the party together.
That's very
Well,
true.
I got a 9 anyway, so...
Yeah, you don't remember, unfortunately, Gregor. You're just kind of like, oh, that's odd, he's stayed behind. He might be, shopping for something. And...
I just got Iyvak, go get him. We're at the elevator.
It's like I just said, we have to stay together.
As this has been happening, though, because you guys did walk for an extra, 2 or 3 minutes before you realised that Rag wasn't there, because the only reason that you realised that Rag had stopped was the fact that his lights weren't following anymore.
No, I need to start making a move on this.
Yep, you've got... let's say you've got 5 moves in total before Iyvak gets back to the shop.
Because I can't stall time until he gets here, can I? So I'm going to have to move on with it, aren't I?
Nope, with a natural 1, you've got 5 attempts.
Okay, so I'm going to go closer to this crystal then. And I'm just going to check my bag of holding, just open it and look. Oh, yes, I can fit about 20.
It's looking mighty full. After fitting 20 in there, it might just about be full.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand then.
Okay, do you want to give a bit of an explanation on Mage Hand then?
Do you want the descriptive information?
Yes, please. For my benefit and everyone else's.
Alright, so a Mage Hand is a spectral floating hand that appears at a point I choose within range. The range is 30 foot. That the hand will last for the duration or until I dismiss it as an action. The hand, I can use it to control, so I can manipulate an object, I can open an unlocked door. In this case, it's store or retrieve an item.
Okay, that's okay.
But it can't carry anything more than £10. So I need to try and...
It'd be multiple
I'm going to try
times
and...
then. Or I can sweep it.
So at least one of these crystals is no more than £10.
At least one of them. You could try and sweep the crystals into your bag if you wish, but if you wanted to do it like individually until it's like £10 limit, I would say that you could probably, per hand, you could probably get
There's
about
only one. Yeah, there's only one hand.
Yeah, let me just check.
Well, that's alright. That's enough information I need.
Yeah, you'd be able to pick up a couple at a time, depending on maybe another roll.
So I'm going to discreetly play. Is there any pillars that I can see in around me? Anything? There's no coverage.
Nope, there's
of any
no
sort.
coverage. This
It's
is
just an
like a
open
wide
space.
open area. The best that you've got are some stalagmites, but like I said, this area seems conspicuously clear of stalagmites, almost like they've tried to make it more welcoming to shoppers and whatnot.
Because surely I can still think about how I want to do it.
Oh yeah, you can think about how you want to do it, but you just know that you've got to do it.
Can I see any of these, the Crystal Elves or any of these creatures hanging around, lurking around these tables?
Yeah, they're all stood directly behind the tables. That's their shops. That's how they trade for other things. They're all going to be stood there. One of them, just to let you know, in terms of colours, there are pink, black, yellow, red, blue, and green. Which one would you like to be stood next to?
Black.
So as you're stood next to the table with the black new mine crystals, or inert black new mine crystals, they are casting off a bit of a black glow, but it's weird. It's almost like it's sucking in the light at the same time. How are you acting around this table?
I am quickly glancing and then taking a step back. Just checking if I want to do this. I'm gonna have to, I think. I'm going to place my bag of holding down on the floor.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Leomund's Tiny Hut. So this is an immobile dome of force. It can fit 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with me.
Okay.
Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast this spell, can move through it freely. All of the creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable, dry, regardless of the weather. But basically the dome is opaque from the outside and transparent from the inside.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast that with me stood inside it, but not the mage hand. So just a little bit further back from the table.
Yeah, but you realise that when this happens, isn't there going to be a shack basically in the middle of the cave?
Well, it's just an opaque dome. That's what I've failed to mention is I can change.
What is it called
its
again?
form, I believe. Leomund's Tiny Hut.
Okay.
Loads of information on it, so hang on. The dome is opaque from the outside of any colour that I choose.
Okay.
So it's opaque with any colour that I choose. So what I'd like to do, if that is any colour that I choose, I want to match it with the colour of the room.
I mean, the room doesn't really have a colour.
I want to try and...
It's stone.
Everything has a colour. It's grey then.
It's grey, browny, blacky. I mean, okay, you can try and make it
No other
camouflage.
option. They're all stood next to the table here. I have no other
the only-
options. As you're
okay,
going and grabbing them. I might be overthinking it, but I don't think I am.
No,
If
it's
they're all
fine.
stood there.
I want you to roll though, because you're going to be. It's not just a simple coloration. This is you're trying to camouflage it with the rocks and stuff. So I want you to roll me a perception to see if you can see the actual coloration and shit. Then,
Okay.
just because if it was a simple color, then that'd be fine. I wouldn't need anything. But you're essentially trying to match multiple colors.
That's a 2.
All right, so you cast Lehman's tiny hut. It kind of spreads out and it stops just. I'm guessing. Are you wanting it to stop just before the actual table itself and whatnot?
No, it doesn't need to. No, I'm stepping a little bit further back from the table. To not draw
So
any
you're
attention
not
to me
wanting
looking at
the
it.
dome itself to be. You don't want the table
It's
to be
only-
covered.
It's only a 10-foot dome.
Okay, that's fine. So a little distance behind it then, this 10-foot dome just kind of springs into existence. You've tried to figure out what kind of matching colours there are, even with your lights and stuff, but the best you've got is kind of like a pewter grey type of colour. It just kind of almost looks like a big boulder has sprung into existence. With this big boulder springing into existence, no one seems to react. So that's move number 1.
Okay, so I'd like to step outside of the dome.
Okay. You're now stood outside of the dome. Still silence around you. Because no.
And just walk away from it a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the mage hand to go and pick up the black crystal off the table.
Hang on, just 1 second here. There's just something I need to double check.
I can't do it. I can't. You can't leave its area.
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Yeah, sorry, I can't do that anyway.
All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry. That's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of step
my
out.
plan was to get the mage hand and try and roll the crystal inside it.
Unfortunately, no, you kind of step outside, and the second you step outside, this giant, boulder-looking thing just whoop, gone.
I didn't want to use this spell because I've not used it before.
But yeah, you've made 1 move. Iyvak, you're starting to approach slowly. You've just seen a large, circular thing appear and then disappear within seconds.
How strange.
Right, so the hut's gone then because I've stepped outside of it.
Yep.
It was an alright plan though.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. So just with the mage hand then, I'm gonna go see if it can pick up the black crystal. I'm not anywhere near it. I'm walking the opposite direction, just pacing around, not suspiciously.
Okay, so
However, that would look for Greg.
okay.
He's sort of he's had a look at the table and now he's just as if he's walking back to the others, just very slowly looking around.
Okay, let me just check something then. So your mage hand manages to, in its grasp, pick up 2 crystals, and it starts.
2 crystals.
Yes. I said it could pick up a couple per time. As it starts to rise, I'm gonna check to see if the shopkeeper notices. Okay, so as it starts to rise and move, the shopkeeper just kind of sees it. Is the mage hand visible to others, or just yourself?
It is visible to others, yeah. It's a spectral floating hand.
So the shopkeeper sees the spectral hand just moving these crystals, and you hear the shopkeeper in its native tongue, "Blah, blah."
I changed the. So I just realised I could do this. Change the hand because I can change its form. I can use the hand to no, I can't. Yeah, no, carry on.
Blah, blah, blah. And the guards seem to be getting very agitated over this, looking around. Iyvak, as you're walking, 2 more guards just kind of, they stop you. Again, with spears pointed at you.
It's no problem, gentlemen. I just have to see my friend.
Their eyes just kind of narrow again. Valer?
Hilaire.
How do you say that? Do you say that as if it's a question or a statement?
Just Hilaire.
They point their spears at you.
I like, hey, friend.
They keep their spear. They're not going to advance any further, but they keep their spears pointed at you.
I'm like, okay.
Greg, guards are now. Greg, guards are surrounding you all. There's not lots of them. There's about 4 or 5, but you can see there are surrounding you. Rag,
So
you
it's
hear?
not me or him.
No, that's Gregor. That guards are surrounding. You've still got the 2 guards pointing their spears at you. Gregor and the rest of the expedition have like 4 or 5 guards pointing their spears at them as their back is at the elevator. Rag, you can hear Iyvak shouting you.
Am I compelled to answer? Or I need to carry on with this?
No, you can answer, but you still want to steal shit. You got 3 turns left before, you know.
Iyvak,
Yes.
what's going on?
I seem to have some spears pointed towards me. Would you know anything about this?
Yes.
Yes.
Truthful. Even that much.
But I can't really elaborate any more than that. I think you know what. Think back to what happens to me when I'm outside of Salt Harbour.
Roll a history.
Oh. Yeah.
Unless, actually, yeah, roll a history, because I made Greg roll a history. But the fact that roll it with advantage, seeing as he's kind of spoon feeding you this.
History.
Yes.
16, 17.
Yeah, you remember that Ragnarok is cursed to steal stuff that he finds. That he... Doesn't matter if it is valuable or not, that he thinks is valuable. If Rag thinks it's valuable, he will try and steal it.
Oh, I see a Thunderwave coming.
Building all over again.
Oh no, there's 2 of them in there.
There are 2 guards stood in front of you, pointing their spears at you.
Get
You-
right.
Okay, I'll go to one of them and say, you feel compelled to let me pass.
Alright. Okay. None. Just spears still pointed. One of them, their spears are still pointed at you. Well, both
one
of them.
of them.
No, sorry. Both of their spears are still pointed at you, but only one of them said that to you. So you can try it on the other one if you want.
You feel compelled to let me pass.
Oh no! He just kind of, his cracked eyes just kind of squinting. Wee, and he raises his spear. The other guard kind of like looks at them, like a look of shock, and just gets too fair. And as he says that, the first guard just jabs the spear straight into the other guard's throat. Blood just kind of sprays out.
That escalated quickly.
And as it does, as he pulls it out, and it's just like, he spins the spear around and put it into his own chest. Leans forward, and the sphere impales through him. Blood again.
Cool. Did anybody see it?
So, none of the shopkeepers did. They're all looking for whatever this thief is. And one of the guards that were looking at Gregor and the group saw it. One of them, who is now sprinting towards you.
Right. I am going to...
Do I see this?
You're currently dealing with 4 guards pointing their spears at you all.
Well, the guard that's running to me, do the other guard see that guard running to me? Or are they just watching
No, their focus is on the other group.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
I've got one thing I could try, but it's bloody risky, so it's not going to work.
Any riskier than everything else that's happening?
No, I suppose not. Can I try and throw a dart accurately right in his eyeball?
Oh, no.
Roll me a dex. Just a straight up dex. Not even with advantage or disadvantage. If you've got inspiration, you can use that if you wish.
It's not good. It's not good. Oh, but I got a +7 on my dex, so that's 15.
What damage does a dart do again? What's the D worth of damage?
In the meantime, what's going on with the crystal that the mage hand is holding and the guard?
So there
Just
isn't
seeing
a
it
guard
move,
actually
right?
there. It's the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper has kind of like reached over and is like scrabbling to bring the crystals back to shout, "Non, non, non!"
Oh, such sympathy for these guys. Is there anybody else around that table I can see that's looking at seeing what's going on?
So there are the other tables who are kind of peering over, but they're not. They're interested, but they're not leaving their stall. They refuse to leave their stall, almost like they're worried themselves that something will happen if they leave.
Right. I feel like I've got to do something, really.
Yep, you've got 3 more turns.
Yeah, I feel like I should do it now. So I'm going to get the hand to roll the crystal towards my direction.
Okay, I want you to roll me a sleight of hand. I was gonna say no reaction for that pun there, guys. Fucking hell.
Yes, I get it. Do you still want me to roll it though?
Well, yes, obviously. I'm not just gonna say a pun and then, oh wow, you got it. Yeah, that's a natural pass.
It's a good one, that's on. 18.
Okay, I was gonna say you can tell we've had technical issues because I'm just short-tempered compared to usual. An 18, you say? So yeah, the hand kind of. What are you wanting the hand to do again? Sorry, throw it where?
Roll it so it bulls towards my direction.
So yeah, the hand just kind of bowls it across to your direction. However, the shopkeeper does not notice where it's going. Yeah, the shopkeeper is just kind of like, non, the crystal. Doesn't notice that it's rolling directly towards you, though. It just knows it's gone off the table.
Has it reached me?
It is 2 feet away from you. It stopped 2 feet away.
Let me go and use my foot to roll it towards me. Very quickly put it into my bag of holding.
Well, that's one, Josh.
I was going to say, I'll let you have that. There is one in your bag of holding.
Out of 19.
I want you to roll me another con check with disadvantage. Con save with disadvantage. Iyvak, what damage does your dart do while Rag's doing this?
Well, it's not much,
Alright.
but I can do stunning strike as well, depending on where he is.
I mean, the guard was about 10 feet away from you. By the time the dart hits him, he's about 6 feet away from you. What damage does it do first, though, please?
Yeah, perfect. I can do it then. It's 1 copper coin, 1d4 piercing. It's got finesse. I don't know what that is on thrown.
It's a finesse weapon. So if you've got proficiency in finesse weapons and stuff, it means that you add your proficiency bonus for attack.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that then. So you launch the dart. The dart doesn't actually go through his eye. It kind of. I don't know. The dart does hit his eye, but it kind of tinks off. It seems like it makes a tiny little crack in one of the eyes, but it just dink off this crystal.
God damn it! Well, looks like we're going to fight, lads.
I got a 5, by the way.
I'm going to do my stunning strike.
Okay, let's just quickly jump between then. Rag, you still feel compelled to steal more. Iyvak, how does your stunning strike work as this man is running to... As this Crystal Elf, this guard who is just trying to make sure that his people are safe, who has just seen his best friend kill his brother.
Well,
and himself.
well,
He's known him since they were little children. 600 years they've known each other.
They can't have much to talk about.
They've had plenty to talk about over 600 years.
Not anymore, they don't.
Well, it looks like they've run out now. Fucking hell.
Oh, we talked about that rock last week. I'm gonna. Well, yeah. Well, basically, the unarmored strike I can do, being the monk I am, after doing a weapon attack.
All right.
Follow it up with a stunning strike. One key. Which actually stuns him.
Okay. So, alright.
Till his next turn. To be honest, I just wanted to hit him though. But stunned until end of next turn. But we are in a combat situation yet, are we?
Well, not quite yet. You are incredibly close to it. Okay, so the target must succeed in a con saving throw. So it's 8 plus your proficiency bonus. So what's your proficiency bonus? I think it'll be a +2.
Proficiency +3.
+3. And what's your wisdom modifier?
It's 17.
So
sorry, modifier +2.
Yeah. So that is 8 plus 3 plus 2. So they need to make a con save of 13, or they are going to be stunned. So as you launch the dart, it hits them in the eye. It jinks off. They kind of lean their head back, but they take another step forward. As they take a step forward, yeah, they kind of leant back. You lean forward. You at first have your fist clenched, as if you're going to like attack them straight on, but you kind of open your palm out, lean forward, palm right into their chest. Yeah. You can see their body kind of like concave, but they're just... Their feet get lifted off, they take a step back, drop to one knee. They are stunned. Seeing as we're not quite in combat yet, they're stunned for a couple of seconds.
Right, I bought some time. Use it well.
Yep. So, Rag, we're on your 4th turn. Gregor, the guards are they're kind of looking around a bit confused. Amrius is just again confused. I do not believe that these guards are waiting to escort us into the mithril mine. I do believe I may be slightly out of my depth. Diplomatic incidents such as this. I believe that we have one or two options. We can either get into the elevator, I hope that Ragnarok and Iyvak reach us, or we can potentially cause a much larger diplomatic incident and fuck with A race that has been around for centuries undisturbed. I will take a group consensus on this, and immediately Reynolds like, let's fuck them up. We can, genocide against those elves. Call me an elf, will you? I'll fucking smash them, and those crystals will break them off their body and sell them. Food's just like, no, do not do this. I know you, genocide is not genocide, it's totally my thing, because it is bad ass. Draplan is just kind of like looking side to side, and he's just like, I do not think that this is a move for us to. Lavender would not be very pleased.
Well, it looks like we don't have any choice.
We have a choice, Gregor. Just because you follow a deity that is all about rage and destruction does not mean we all do. So there is also the option of taking the elevator down before they can attack us.
I can't leave Iyvak and Raga by themselves. They're behind.
Well, you can make your choice. They will not call the elevator down yet. However, just taking a step back, his robes are kind of. He even kind of brushes his hood back slightly, not all the way off, but slightly, so that you and the guards can see his face, his kind of crunched hobgoblin face, as he's kind of taking a step back. I will wait on the elevator until it is safe for us to go.
You do what you have, Taplan.
At this, Redmond also. Oh, gee, yeah, I'm not a fighter, as you may have guessed. So I'm gonna go on the elevator right now. And he also hops onto the elevator. Ebchar and Amrius, they both step onto the elevator, but rather than go right at the back, like Dravlan and Redmond have, they kind of like stand at the front, like almost ready to protect the other two if needs be. And Fu and Reyna are just still arguing whether or not genocide is the way forward.
Well, I'm gonna go help Iyvak. So I just run where Iyvak is. Iyvak, what's going on? Why did you just attack that guy?
Grab him!
We're on.
Okay.
What? The guard?
I think we started.
Get him quiet!
Because I'm gonna have to edit that perfectly. Fucking hell.
Okay. I was gonna say, what kind of shit? Like, is he on the floor or something?
So this guard is on one knee, just catching his breath.
Right. Can I just do a rugby tackle into him?
What are you trying to like pin him down? I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Roll me. I mean, he's on his knees, so make an athletics check, please. As you kind of like bound towards him, he's like on his knee, slowly pushing himself up because a couple of seconds has passed.
15.
Would it be fair to say it's a grapple?
Yes, because he's rugby tackling him to keep him down, he's grappling him. So 15, you say?
Yeah.
So as he gets up, he kind of like hears the sound of you in your like full armor, just big dragonborn, turns around just to see you like shoulder check him, lift him up, just fucking on the ground, like dust clears, and as the dust clears, you see his neck is bent at a very, very bad angle.
Yeah, go, Greg!
He's still alive. He's still alive. He's still alive. You can just say.
Can anyone hear it?
Gregor will be able to hear it for the rest of his days.
If that sounded like French to me.
It sounded like Elvish. Ancient Elvish. This man is not...
I'll call it to Gregor. It's like, good tackle. We got to keep him quiet. There's been a bit of a mishap.
Pain, sacre bleu.
Can I just pull out my knife? My knife with my knuckle dusters and just give him a whack on the head just to knock him out.
Are you doing that with the knuckle dusters?
Yes.
I was going to suggest a gag.
You know what? Roll me attack with advantage. Is this poor elven guard? He's unable to move his hands or his arms or anything like that.
Just Iyvak holding a rag.
His neck is bent at like a 45-degree angle, very, not natural. You can see he's unable to move at all. What did you get advantage with your attack?
Well, that was lucky because that was a natural one, the first one.
Okay.
How do I check this? It's Sunblade, isn't it?
I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna do that while he's doing that. Stand there with the rag to gag him.
Yeah, so Iyvak, you're pulling out this rag to like gag this guard who's pretty much paralyzed on the floor. So he just
15.
What damage does your Sunblade do again? Your knuckle dust? We said unarmored, didn't we? +2 or something like that.
Oh, is it unarmed attack?
Yeah, because it's the knuckle dusters. So actually, did we just give the knuckle dusters themselves a damage rating?
I don't think so.
I was going to say I thought we added like +2 or +3. So what's your unarmored? Unarmed strike.
Unarmed.
Your unarmed strike. Sorry.
Look, it is. That's a +7.
No, unarmed strike. That will be a +7. I don't. Will it? Actually, it probably will be 7.
That's what it says on here.
+7 to hit.
Okay, yeah. So with the knuckle dusters, I think we said +2 or 3. So I'll give it a +3. So yeah, is this guard is just like groaning in ancient Elvish, like you just hand back, just side of his head again, the same angle, that the same side that's angled like that. So you connect again, you just hear another sickening.
I didn't knock him out.
And the guard goes silent forever. You just hear it.
Right. Blimey, Greg. Could have just gagged him, mate.
Yeah, Iyvak is literally just stood there with this rag, just like hovered over him, just like, okay.
And then I'll be like, well, I'm not really one to talk. Let's hide him. Anyway, I take it we're like in a corridor, aren't we?
No, you're in this large expanse. The only reason everyone else hasn't seen you is because they're dealing with the group that's at the elevator. They've still got their hands, their spears pointed towards the rest of the group, not letting anyone past.
So no one's noticed this.
No, because the guard that went to check on the guard that killed his brother and himself is now being brutally murdered.
Right, so at the moment we're not discovered.
At the moment, you're not, though. However, we jump back to Rag. As Rag, just in the distance, you hear a sickening boom, and then a second or two later, just like...
I'll take a quick glance in that direction, and then I'm straight back on the mage hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to send that mage hand back over to the same area.
Where the person's alerted?
No, to the area where the crystals are.
Oh, okay. So which colour are you going for? Remember,
So
you've got...
whereabouts is the shopkeeper? Whatever crystal he's nearest,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the furthest one away.
Just to let you know, I've said before, but I'll reiterate again. Every table contains different crystals, different coloured crystals, and every
Yes.
table has a different shopkeeper behind it. So the one that you went to, the one that's on high alert,
yeah,
essentially,
of course, right. I was
is the
thinking of
black new
one
mines.
table.
No, it's
Right.
numerous tables, numerous slabs of stone.
With that in mind, then I will. I'll go and try and find another table that's not as vigilant.
Okay, you've got pink, yellow, red, blue, or green. Black is on high alert at this moment in time. The rest are also on alert, but not.
Can I observe? Can I see? Or do I have to pick a colour?
I mean, it depends what you're trying to observe.
I'm just trying to look if there's any of these shopkeepers that's got their back turned or.
So
Or doing something else away from the table.
Your best bet would definitely be Green, who has, after seeing the commotion at the black new mine crystal table, against their better judgment, has started walking over towards that table to see what's going on, as that shopkeeper is still shouting "Voler" as loud as they can.
I'm going to send it over to the green crystal then.
All right.
And I'm going to slowly have the hand just pick it up
Okay, so the hand
and
picks
then
up.
that down underneath the table.
The hand picks up two once more. With the... I don't know why I was shouting so loud there. With the shopkeeper being away, that's underneath the table with the two... It's kind of... Do you remember the Addams Family thing?
Yes.
The hand? So, you
Yeah.
remember how it used to run basically on its index and little finger when it had stuff in its hand? It does that. It just kind of... however, roll me, just once again for the pun, a sleight of hand. But with advantage because other people's attention... Hey! You get advantage though because other people's attention are drawn elsewhere.
Twice. 19.
Yeah, so the magical mage hand just straight across to you and just kind of like clambers up your leg and just deposits to the crystals.
Yeah,
You've now got
straight to
two...
the bag of holding.
Yep, you've now got one black new mine crystal and two green new mine crystals. Roll me a con check, a con save, sorry. Not with disadvantage this time.
5.
You still wish to steal crystals. You have one more attempt left.
I'll send it back again, the green.
It just kind of...
Provide.
Same thing again, I'm guessing?
No, I want to see the shopkeeper. Is he still doing the same thing? Has he got his back turned? Has he got...
He's now talking animatedly. He's...
towards the crystals or away from them?
He's literally... His back's to the table because he's talking animatedly with the shopkeeper who's still just... Magic bleu.
Okay, grab another 2 green crystals then and scurry back.
This time it actually picks up 4. Just kind of like... Just swipes and picks up 4 of them. Scurries back on its 2 fingers once more. Sleight of hand with advantage.
14.
Okay, with that I am going to have to roll. Yeah, it just kind of scurries back again, up your leg, just up your leg, deposits 4 more crystals in. You've got 6... Yeah, you've got 6 green crystals, 1 black crystal. Roll me con save again, please. With the advantage this time, we'll give you advantage. Because the last couple of attempts have been quite... Is this happening, Iyvak and Gregor? You're still just hovering over this dead corpse of a guard. It's like, oh shit, what do we do?
Right, I have got to cast Elemental Atonement and rumble stone.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say to Greg, try and get a big rock. Anyone.
A boulder or a rock?
Make sure it's bigger than yourself.
Make sure it's bigger than me.
So a boulder, you're looking for a boulder, not a rock.
Sorry, yeah. It's got great bones.
Make sure you get a big stick too.
Yeah.
I'll look for a big rock then.
So, okay,
And I'm rumbling the cliff walls.
Okay, so I'm going to try and do this all in tandem then. Gregor, roll me investigation. Rag, what were you going to do?
I got an 11 on my con save.
Okay. You feel the need to get the rest, the 13 crystals immediately. It is now starting to hurt your head. You're starting to feel pain from this. Gregor, what was your investigation?
17.
You find a decently big-sized rock, one that, not quite as big as the Crystal Elf itself, but a little bit smaller, but a decent-sized rock. It's quite heavy.
Right. Yeah, I pick it up.
Just... And you slowly start
What do
walking.
I do with it?
Smash it on his head. I'm pointing at the guy that's at his throat.
Yes. Oh, the one that's been jabbed. Okay.
Yeah.
As this is happening, there's just there's like bits of dust and stones drop down from the ceiling of the cave. You hear a and a stalactite drops down just next to you. Another one next to you. Couple start dropping down. Rag, how are you going to get these 13 crystals?
I need to get them now.
Yeah, it is starting to hurt your head. All you can think about is you need these 13 crystals. As the walls are shaking and the stalactites are starting to drop, one just next to you creates an indent. Another one drops again and onto the table, and all the crystals just kind of scatter.
Going to...
Sorry, did I slam the rock onto his head?
What's happening with Rag now is happening as you're bringing the rock over.
Okay.
So after Rag's next action, it will take us up to you holding the rock over this guy's head.
Right, okay, so I'm going to... facing it. So I'm going to run around the back. Are these tables all scattered in a circle formation?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much in a circle formation.
Can I see any guards around them tables?
There was at one point, but the majority of them were at the black table. However, with this rumbling happening, they're now seeming to dart back. They look like they're running towards the area where the elevator is, but they don't look like they're running specifically towards Gregor and Iyvak. They just look like they're running back that way. A couple of the shopkeepers are also looking around, quite worried. One or two of them are starting to. Looks like they might be considering leaving their post.
Oh, I really need to think about this. I don't want to fuck this up. So I'm going to stand as long as I'm. Could be dangerous, this, but
You don't fucking say.
To walk towards to try and get in the middle of all of these tables that are in a circle formation.
Yeah.
Right, but how I'm going to do that is, as I approach the tables, I'm going to send my mage hand off, and I want it to circle around the table, but I want it to smack each individual elf in the face as it goes around this table. So Just slapping them all in the face.
Bear in mind, it's not one single table. It's multiple tables arranged in a circle. So it'll have to like jump, slap, land, jump, slap, land.
I don't think it needs to be. It doesn't need to be grounded though.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's
So it's just
I
kind
can
of
send it off
flying
floating.
in a circle.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's a flying circle.
Okay, let me roll for
Like-
these then.
like in the episode of IT Crowd, right?
Love it.
Okay, I'm assuming you're doing this to draw their attention then.
No, just
I wanted to divert their attention as I'm getting into
Yeah,
this.
that's what I meant. Sorry, you're wanting to draw their attention to the hand, so outwards.
Yeah. Outwards,
Okay,
yes.
so you send the hand off. It just floats straight away, just like floats and starts picking up speed. It goes for the pink new mine crystal vendor. It backhands him in the face. You just see this crystal elf just what? As its face spins round. It reaches the black new mine crystal vendor and slaps him in the face. But he's not really paying attention. He's still just arguing with the green new mine crystal vendor, just like animatedly. Just pretty much just valeur, magic, valeur. The hand immediately then goes to the green new mine crystal merchant. Just spins his head around. His head like whips like 90 degrees, and then just he
Kills him straight away.
no, but he does think that the black new mine crystal merchant has done it. So as the hand slaps him and goes on to the last, you just hear this crystal elf "Pard!" and slaps the black new mine crystal vendor in the face. You hear the black new mine
Has that
crystal.
caused a riot?
You hear the black new mine crystal vendor pretend I'm mad backhand. You then hear the green new mine crystal run here and just punches him in the face, and these two are now brawling amongst each other. The floating hand continues on its journey. The yellow new mine crystal vendor has now noticed this fracas erupt between the black and the green new mine crystal vendor, and they're starting to run over to try and split it up. But as they do, do you remember those happy slapping videos? Where they get someone to run and then suddenly all of a sudden just a slap in the face and it sends them like literally flying. That happens with the yellow new mine crystal vendor. Just they turn the corner to like try and help, and then again just right across the cheek, and the force of it kind of causes them to corkscrew in the air and land in a crumpled heap. The red new mine crystal vendor, bless them, they're trying their hardest not to like leave their post. And again, the hand kind of slaps them once and they don't react. Slaps them again, and it's just like looking around, but it's still not drawing their attention. So finally, the hand just slaps as hard as it can, like a straight down slap, and you kind of hear like a, and then just as blood streams, they cradle their face, just screaming, just as they're crouching and screaming, and the hand flies off for its final pit stop in its journey, going towards the blue new mine crystal vendor. The blue new mine crystal vendor turns as the hand tries to slap it, and it just grabs the hand. Just glaring at this hand, just grabs it, and it's kind of surveying all of this damage, that one of its brethren just crouched on the floor, sobbing, cradling a broken nose. Another one in a crumpled heap, barely moving, its arm just like twitching every so often. The black and green new mine crystal vendor fighting each other, just literally brawling, getting the pink new mine crystal vendor involved as well, just kind of like grabbing him and pulling him into the fray. He just looks around and just glares at the mage hand, and the mage hand just poof disappears.
And I'm stood in the middle now at this point.
If this has happened, and this vendor is still just looking at his hand like sacre bleu. You've snuck into the middle completely undetected. You are now stood in the centre with all these makeshift stone slab tables, numerous of them, multiple ones of them holding lots of different coloured new mine crystals. The black new mine crystals are still there. The green new mine crystals are scattered on the floor though due to the stalactite. As all this has been happening, Iyvak has still been rumbling. There's still been with stalactites dropping and narrowly missing multiple people. Another stalactite drops, and as the blue new mine crystal vendor is looking at his hand, almost like a fucking Othello, a last Paul Yorick, I knew him well, just looking at his hand, a stalactite just drops and impales him right through the face. He drops down dead, spurting blood. Rag, what do? You are in the centre, you have caused, you and Iyvak, and also Gregor, because, him killing that guy kind of set all of this off, have caused absolute pandemonium in this previously peaceful civilization. What do you do?
So
we just got to get our story right.
I just grab the big thing and just slam it onto this guy's head.
As you slam it down onto the head, roll me a strength check actually, because you're literally lifting this giant boulder, this giant stone up to slam it down. Roll me a strength check, please.
7.
As you do, you drop it, and it does drop on the guy's face. However, it also drops on your toe. It breaks your toe and does 4 points of damage. You hear a sickening as it squelches and destroys this poor Crystal Elf guard's face. Rag, as Gregor drops the boulder, you don't even hear this over the entire and the cacophony of noise that is happening after the blue new mine crystal vendor has been viciously impaled by a falling stalactite. The pink, black and green new mine crystal vendors are all fighting each other, and the surviving yellow and red ones, and they're just kind of looking with sheer confusion and horror at the scene unfolding amongst them. Their previously peaceful civilization just falling apart in front of their very eyes. What do you do?
So I stood there with my jaw dropped of how this chaos has just happened from this mage hand that I simply wanted to slap around just to create a diversion. I'm sort of stood there in awe about it. And like just third level Thunderwave.
Why? You could have
Okay.
explained all of it without the Thunderwave.
If there was all fighting, I'd have done it. But because only 2 of them are brawling, the rest of them are immediately going to have their focus on the table again, and I'll get caught straight away.
Okay, so what is the con save that they need to make, Rag? It will be your proficiency plus your wisdom
It's
plus
15.
8.
They need to make a con save of 15.
So this hits all of them. It's not exactly a large fucking area, so this will hit all of them. Let me figure this out. So the blue vendor is dead. The pink new mine crystal vendor, 15, did you say?
Yes.
He's going to be caught in it. Black is definitely going to be caught in it. Yellow is definitely going to be caught in it. Red. Oh no. Oh no.
It's gone natural 1.
And green. Green will actually say. Wait. We said matching wins, didn't we? So yeah. So they're going to. No, we said attacker wins, didn't we?
Defender. That was defender.
You know what? I've actually got this written on my house rules. I don't even know why. Attacker will win. If a skill check matches, then attacker will win.
Okay.
Well, someone got very lucky. All right. I roll your damage.
So, also, in addition, unsecured objects that are completely within the area.
I see.
get 10 feet away.
Yeah. and it emits a thunderous boom audible to 300 feet.
300 feet.
Just to point out, this audible boom, which shakes stuff, is happening during someone else shaking stuff
Yeah,
in an
exactly.
underground cavern. But yeah, roll your damage.
I still intend to get out of this unseen.
So yeah, roll your. Roll that 4d8 because you're doing 3rd level.
Let me just check when you cast a spell. You can spell a second level. Damage is about 1d8.
Yeah, so that'll be
what does it
4.
start with? 4d8.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
4d8.
roll your
damage.
4d8. Roll your 4d8. Oh, this was meant to be such a peaceful, just a quick 5-second pass through. This was the setup for the session, not the session. This was the setup.
That's a 21.
Oh, these poor people. All right. So, Rag, tell me, how do you emit your Thunderwave as this cacophony of violence and aggression and just sheer confusion is playing out in front of you as the blue Newman Crystal Vendor has been slew by a falling stalactite? How do you emit a thunderous wave of energy?
So I stood in the middle of the table, like I said, in all my jaws dropped.
Yep.
All the chaos around these tables.
You had to kind of pretty much crouch under and pass through, yes.
I'm just looking at them all and just shrug my shoulders and flick the end part of the strings on the lute, and you get the
just like a ding.
You get the fretboard, and then you get the end part on the head. It's gonna flick.
just literally ding.
Yeah, and then chest out, and it's gone. It's out there. It's out there now, guys.
Yeah. So Rag, all you hear just the ding. Gregor and Iyvak, what you hear
I'm grabbing my foot at this point, like going, ow, my foot!
Gregor, Iyvak, have you stopped doing your cave shake?
Yeah.
As you stop doing the cave shake, as you stop it, and it starts calming down.
This is before he's done the Thunderwave.
Yeah, this is leading up to it.
I'll turn around and go, Greg, it's okay. I've got a story.
And then as you say that, as you're literally raising your hands like, I've got a story, you just hear... just in the entirety of the cavern, just... I just
going to say...
As this happens, as you hear the vroom, 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 once again the cage starts shaking even more, much more dangerously. It isn't controlled like when you did it, Iyvak. I want you to both roll me dex saves, please.
Is this for the Thunderwave?
It is.
Because I do have a potion of lightning resistance.
That's not thunder, that's lightning.
No.
No.
It's not for the Thunderwave itself. Just roll your dex saves and you'll see what it's for.
Yeah, I was going to say they're way over 15 feet away.
16.
16? I know they're over 15 feet away, but do you know what's not? Do you know what's not? You know, like, pardon?
Rubble?
No, not rubble. Like I said, you're in an underground area that's been shaken violently for the past 2 or so minutes, and there's now a loud, audible shockwave that's spread through. Even though it's only 15 feet, that shockwave has spread upwards, affecting an already unstable terrain. What did you get, Iyvak?
Well, are they rocks or boulders?
The stalactites. Dropping down. Very pointy stalactites.
Actually, my dexterity is extremely good.
Go on, then. I got a 4.
4 on that.
So is it a saving throw?
It was a saving throw.
Yeah, that's alright then.
So what did you get, sorry, Gregor?
Oh, no,
I got 16.
Sorry.
And what did you... Sorry, Iyvak, what did you get?
Yeah, I'm plus 7, so it's 18.
Okay. So as you hear the boom and the sudden shaking much more violent than before, you both look up. You're kind of like stood either side of this boulder, I'm guessing. Like the boulder with the destroyed man is like between you both.
Yeah.
As you look up, you see 2 stalactites just drop down. You both kind of hop backwards, and the stalactites just kind of like on either side of the boulder where you were stood, like just avoiding this man's already desecrated corpse.
That'll help.
Right.
I think we need to get out of here, Iyvak.
Yeah, this is the Thunderwave's happening now, isn't it?
Yes,
So,
but this has seemed to have triggered something else off as well, seeing as, underground, unstable.
Iyvak,
no,
was that Thunderwave?
it was, yeah. My plan was to get the guards and say they're fighting, and it caused us, but that's not going to work now.
As this has happened because it's an underground enclosed space as well, it's similar to like when in films a bomb goes off and it's just like and it's all muffled. So as you're hearing, Iyvak, as you're hearing Gregor ask, it's just kind of like
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, I'm just going to be like, run!
As I look, I just look at the elevator, but then I look down and see the guy's spear.
You can pick the spear up if you want.
I pick the spear up.
You now have a crystal, new mine crystal spear.
Lovely.
You don't know what it does or anything until you get it appraised, though, I'm afraid.
Oh, fine.
I want one.
Roll an investigation. As you're sprinting, I'm assuming, towards the elevator.
Yeah, but I've just clocked him, pick one up, and I'm like,
Yeah, so roll investigation because you've already set off.
it's not going to be good. 11.
You do see one, but it's been broken in half by falling stalactites.
Damn it. I shouldn't be doing it anyway. I'm a monk. I accidentally killed him. So-
Rag, we rewind in time about 15 to 20 seconds as you do the ding and the boom happens. As that happens, this force of thunderous energy raptures out in a 15-foot cube. As it does so, the pink, black, and green vendors are all literally hit in the back, just full on smashed in the back. What did you say it did? 21 points of damage?
Yeah.
The green new mine crystal vendor, the second that it hits them, you see almost like their clothes start to, the hide that they've got on start to shred. You see the crystals crack and shatter, and then you see their white, greyish, pale skin underneath start almost peeling up, exposing bone, before it pushes through and slowly vaporizes them. The sound, the force of this thunder just ripping them apart. The same happens with the black new mine crystal vendor. He turns to look at the green new mine crystal vendor, the person who he'd just been arguing with. As he does, you see his eyes start shattering as well, and the skin just peels off, and again, he vaporizes. The pink new mine crystal vendor has split seconds to notice this happening, tries to scurry away but falls, and as he does, he's lifted up by the thunderous wave and just slams straight into the ceiling, impaled on another stalactite, which promptly falls next to a boulder that has somehow appeared near where Iyvak and Gregor are. Let's have a look. Yellow. Yellow is, again, like the other one, lifted up and just smashed against the wall. As he does, you see another stalactite drop down, but the force of the Thunderwave again catches it and just impales him through his chest. You just see as he coughs up blood and his head just hangs. And then finally, poor old Red, who got a natural 1.
Hey! That's it, they're all dead, aren't they?
Red turns to look at you, Rag. You realise that Red turns to look at you as you flick the string. Red dives over the table, reaching, grasping for you, realising that you are the architect of all this destruction. You are the reason why numerous people are dead. You are the reason why peace is no longer happening in this area.
Always Rag.
He reaches out and the force causes one fingertip, then the other, then the final fingertip, and then the thumb with his outstretched hand to literally bend back. And you hear a sickening as all the joints just pull back, and it's almost like his skeleton, which is caught in the blast, rips out of its skin before being promptly vaporized. As the wave spreads out, the new mine crystals are all caught and thrown as well. A couple of them embed into the walls, some just fly up in the air and just drop back down. Others fly into the corpses, or the semi-corpses of the vendors. As you look, you can just see in the far distance Ilya just looking horrified at this destruction. He drops to his knees, despairing.
Kill him.
You don't know if he knows that you're the reason for it, but you know that he knows that a lot of his family essentially are now dead.
Right. Did you just say he doesn't know it was us?
You don't know if he knows it's you. He is a long distance away. So like where the elevator is. So the way that it's laid out is there's the entrance that you guys came in, a bit of a space, then the shopping area where Rag is, then another little bit of a space, the elevator, and then further back beyond that is like another area that you've not explored. And you can see that Ilya is in that area. He's a distance away, so he won't have been able to see everything perfectly. You don't even know if he'll have even been able to make out what's happened, but he's definitely seen people dying. Greg, what did you do?
Yeah, I'm going to leave him. I presume that the noise is still having all of the structures still really unstable and falling.
Yes, it's starting to calm down a little bit, but you're still hearing...
Yeah, so I'm going to turn and look towards the elevator because I know that's where I need to be. I'm going to grab the crystals that are next to me, if there is any next to me.
There are... For fuck's sake. How many did you need?
I think it was 9, so I've got 7 in my bag so far.
You needed 20, 7? So you... Oh, I'm just going to take a very quick photo here.
Because I got 4 in one bulk, 2 in another, and then 1. So I got 7.
Yeah, you needed
13,
20.
don't I?
I'm just going to send you guys a very quick picture in the Discord because I can't be asked to move my webcam. This is the exact number that appeared next to you or all around you. If you guys would like to check out the Discord chat.
13. What's that?
13 crystals landed around you after being blown up in the air, and then just kind of dropped, just like a zim, 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 ding, 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 ding. Every single one of them misses you, and it's the exact number that you needed.
Oh, you just rolled for it now, haven't you? Yeah.
Yep. I just rolled to see how many.
I'm gonna pick them all up.
Just hastily shoving them in the bag.
Shove them in my bag of holding. And then just bolt it to the elevator.
As you're bolting it to the elevator, you're still hearing as the cave is shaking.
Keeping an eye on the ceiling to see what's going to collapse.
Roll me a dex check as you hear Oh, dex save, sorry, not a dex check. That's fine. Dex save, sorry, not a dex check. You just
12. Oh no, hang on, 15.
Boom. A stalactite explodes next to your foot. Sends you slightly off balance, but you keep your balance. You catch up to Gregor and Iyvak, who are also sprinting.
Take you to a Thunderwave!
With a bag. I had to! Fucking heavy bag on me. Come on to the elevator!
Everyone roll me one more dex save, please, as you hear another
9.
Dex save again.
13.
Yes, 13, 9.
21.
So you hear it as it starts, just coming down. Gregor, you realise what's happening. You dive forward and you kind of land on your shoulder and roll into the elevator. Iyvak, what did you get? 13?
I got 13, but can I deflect missile?
I mean, if you want. I would class it as a missile. It is a ranged attack, I guess, in a way.
No, it's one of my combat actions, but I will do that.
Okay, so explain how that worked then, please.
I knew you were going to ask that.
I always do. It's not because I, as the DM, have forgotten what these actions do. It is so that, you know, the other players and listeners and viewers can also find out what it does.
Point.
I know.
I was just saying, it's definitely not because I, as the DM, have forgotten what all of these different spells do.
No, of course not. You're
No.
DM.
No, I know every single spell and action in the game, obviously. Any
Right,
DM worth their salt does.
Starting at 3rd level, you can use your reaction to deflect or catch the missile when you are hit by a ranged weapon or attack. Oh, well, can I then? 'Cause it's not a ranged.
I would
weapon.
class it. No, I'd class it as a ranged weapon because it is a dropping weapon. So,
Yeah.
like, an arrow would be a ranged weapon. This is just like a large stone arrow, basically.
Alright, well, when you do so, damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier and your monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can catch the missile in your hand, and I could throw it back if that was
So,
the situation I was in.
What is that then, in terms of reducing your damage then? If you rolled that for me.
1d10,
Yeah.
which is 8,
Yeah.
plus my dexterity, which is plus 7.
Plus 7.
Yeah, I got
Fucking
big
hell.
dexterity.
Okay, now so that's 15.
That's what I built my character on, but none of our rolls are ever about dexterity. And my monk level, so that's plus 5.
So 20, fucking hell. So yeah, this it's a good thing that you do this actually. You notice this stalactite just, and as it does, you notice that Gregor dives forward. Rag kind of, after stumbling before, still hasn't got his speed back up, and again stumbles. He almost loses his footing, but he kind of like stumbles and turns. And as he turns, Rag, as you turn and you look upwards, you see this stalactite heading directly for your face. You
Can
feel
I-
like you feel it's okay. You feel like, oh no, shit, this might be it. But before you do, Iyvak, you jump up and pretty much grab this missile, grab this stalactite, and just launch it against a wall.
Nice.
Iyvak lands next to you.
Yes! Well done, Iyvak! I underestimated you.
Not such a wimp after all, eh?
Never again, Iyvak, never again.
As you two are having this touching moment, you just hear another land next to you.
Was quite touching
Let's
for us.
no time at all, let's go!
As you two are just running for this elevator, and you're just hearing once again. You both pretty much dive into the elevator. As it does, you hear as the cave ceiling starts giving way. More stalactites are falling now, and also bits of the roof is such. As you both enter into the actual elevator itself, Ebchad just quickly grabs the door and just slams this metal grate door shut. And Amrius immediately just gets one of the cranks and just and lets the brake off. You start. It takes almost a second too long. As again you see this cave start crumbling in on itself, and you just hear. As the elevator starts lowering. As it starts lowering down, you then start passing. You start passing through a hole, and there is just literally rock surrounding all of you. It is pretty much pitch black, and then you just hear it as one of the crystals that are kind of like wrapped around the chain-linked fence around two of the sides just kind of flickers into light and casts an amber light as you're still just slowly descending into perpetual darkness.
Can I just say that escalated quickly?
As you say that, Amri's just... Oh, bloody well say it did. What the bloody hell happened up there? 1 second we are traversing across their mithril mines, being welcomed by the Crystal Elves, and then the next, you three are in the midst of all of the carnage and chaos. What the bloody hell happened up there?
I'll just quickly look at Iyvak and Gregor.
I look at Iyvak and Rag.
Just shift the eyes.
Would you believe the luck that all these years they never had a cave quake, and then it just happened when he got in?
Roll persuasion with disadvantage, because that is a piss poor argument. As you just...
Persuasion. Oh, there's no plus 9.
Ooh, well, he's gonna roll insight. Even without modifiers. You and I bloody well both know, Iyvak, that was not what happened. Now, I do not know what happened, and quite frankly, I do not wish to know right now, because I fear if I found out right this bloody well second, I would kick you off this expedition, and we would be 3 people short. But you better believe, Solomonari, that this transgression will be known throughout the lands. The Solomonari quite often cause more trouble than they help.
I might have to agree with that.
At the very least, Iyvak, Mileart. At least you can agree with some form of responsibility.
I admit that didn't go the way I wanted.
And how did you want it to go?
I would have rather have just walked onto the elevator and gone. But things happened. Who knows? Why? Yeah, who knows? But it happened, and we move on. That's our way.
He just continues glaring. He just glares at you. And do you think that the families of the guards that have been killed, of the shopkeepers that have been killed, can just move on?
It'll take some strength and some growth. What I might suggest is if you know a second way out, or you'll have that thing we could just teleport out, can't we? So we don't really need to bother with all that fuss and walking back, do we?
A bloody well good mind to just teleport out of here and leave you 3 bloody wankers down here to fester and rot. However,
well, we're here now anyway.
we are all, as you say, we are already here and we have a contract. Just deep exhale. And just kind of like, just turns away from you. Anger. You feel his anger.
I'll just go.
Swear to God, if this elevator door opens and there's loads of crystals, I'm just gonna off my character straight away.
I'll off you.
It's like, we've got about 17 floors of me trying to steal shit.
To be fair, me killing those 2 cats didn't help either, though. So it's not like I can blame you on that.
How do you think I feel? I'd rugby tackle the guy. I'll just knock him out.
That was your choice.
I said to knock him out.
I'm just saying, get him, grab him. You pummeled him with a knuckle dust.
So, Rag and Gregor, would you like to roll a quick perception check to see how everyone's feeling?
Well, it's not good. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I got natural 1.
Okay, Gregor, what did you get?
Perception. 4.
You were both just kind of like, oh, well, everyone's fine. Amris isn't happy, but everyone else is fine.
I'm not fine. I'm certainly not fine after that at all, in any way, shape or form.
So,
Really didn't want to do that Thunderwave, but I had flashbacks of the market there.
Yeah, but I think, all in all, we did quite well.
no
We
one,
covered-
not even Raynor responds to you at that.
I was going to
Everyone's
say,
just
did we
quiet.
see what happened? Did we see what happened at the market, or did we kind of miss that?
You kind of missed that with your own little adventure that was going on. You know that
Okay,
Rag has
yeah.
the Thunderwave because you both know what Rag's Thunderwaves sound like.
I think I'll just mumble to myself and just say, I think I'm just going to stay quiet for a minute.
I'm just whistling.
As you're whistling, Gregor, you just see Bimit just shake his head slowly at you in his human form, just like... shake his head. He looks disappointed in you. He's not angry. He's disappointed.
And I'm slowly looking into me, just opening the little pouch of me bag of holding and just looking down into it.
Do I see that?
I was going to say, do we see a glow coming from the back?
That's a really good point. There's a very faint glow. Actually, roll perception, please. You'll have to beat this roll.
Is that both of us? Or?
Both of you roll perception. Oh, this has got to be one of the most ridiculous sessions we've
15.
done. 15?
17.
You both see a multitude of hue of glows coming from the bag of holding.
I'm going to slowly look at Rag.
Yeah, and I'm looking at them both.
Just kind of like a glare of don't say a fucking word. You're all just kind of staring at each other in just kind of like mute shock, horror, and a little bit of anger, I guess.
Yeah.
With my
But then
lips
I-
just saying the words.
Can I just quit my knuckle duster and just give him a whack on the arm?
Yeah, so Rag, you do the sign language for I'm sorry, which is literally just kind of like a rotation around your chest. And as you do, Gregor, yeah, roll to hit. Fuck it, roll to hit. Greg, what's your AC?
I'll let you know.
It's not good.
Not
8.
Okay, so you try and punch him without looking, and you miss, and you just punch the ring fencing, and as you do, it just like a. What was that? Sorry.
The elevator just broken now. It's going all the way down.
Oh, luckily it does not, but yeah, it just seems like you were kind of lashing out there, Gregor. Okay. Fucking hell. This is the most ridiculous session we've done in a long time, guys, and it's great. This was meant to be serious. Nonetheless,
I was just going to say though, in our heads, all that happened was I killed a couple of people by mistake. Gregor's come along and he saw that I've killed a couple of people, and we haven't talked about that yet.
No.
And he's grappled a guy, and then
Well, he was coming
killed-
straight towards you.
and then he
You
killed
ruined that.
someone, and then we saw a Thunderwave. That's all we know, innit?
that's fair
Apart
enough.
from the glow. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
And you know that I had to steal something,
Oh yeah, but we saw that in the bag that you stolen something.
and that yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. I just want to know where my character's coming from. So I'm not really annoyed. Obviously, I'm just a little bit. I probably just have to explain to Greg that why I killed 2 guys.
No, that's fair. So again, silence kind of washes over you all. You can just hear the of the metal tracks sliding down. Silence overcomes the group again. A bit of an obvious silence given what happened up there. Everyone just seems to be in shock, in horror, just like not sure of what the hell just happened up there. The mechanical lift continues to judder downwards, and the only light cast being that of the kind of like the ambery crystal embedded in the side. As it passes down, it casts more shadows, as it's passing down across the rock, keeping one side in relative light and the other in relative darkness. The only noise being that of the metal sliding down the tracks. Suddenly, though, the lift comes to a halt with a jerking motion. The metal creaks just for a second or two before settling, and Amrius, sternly faced and still quite angry, steps forward, just opens the fence gate. Once the gate door is open and you step off the lift, you see that you're in a large expanse with numerous tunnels that lead elsewhere. The floor itself is comprised of stone and dirt, but you can see the telltale sign of cart tracks leading around the floor. That said, some of the wood on these tracks have been broken, so it's not that clear if they're still in use. Although the area itself is quite dim with no actual lit torches or fires, it is not pitch black due to the glow of many multiples of crystals. Those that are still in the wall emanate a bright white light, whilst the crystals contained within the mining carts that are scattered around, or the 2 or 3 that you can see in the immediate entrance, all have different hues of greens, of blues, of reds, a lot of them intermingling together to create an almost awe-inspiring colour to them. Although it seems almost peaceful, the hastily abandoned tools that are strewn across the place, along with the ethereal light cast from the crystals, and the complete silence, with the occasional exception of dripping water just drip, drip, or the creaking from the walls around you, or more accurately, the creaking from the increased pressure from the levels above you, just all come together, and it creates a bit of an uneasy atmosphere that you can't quite shake. Everyone else steps off the lift. You are now on the lift by yourselves.
I just look at them too and just go, shall we?
I wonder
Yes,
if their shop's still open.
My word.
No, too soon.
And I turn to Rag
Yes.
and just look at him and then hold my hand out and say, 3 crystals.
3 crystals? Yeah, meaning...
You want me to keep my silence, Rag? 3 crystals.
It's getting into this blackmailing, isn't it?
It's a bit of a worrying trend for, like fucking cleric of good Gregor.
Gregor, if you would like to tell the group about what just happened, then go ahead.
I just stay silent and then just carry on walking.
Right, okay. And if I'm with them 3, I'll be go. All seriousness, lads, it looks like I used my powers again and it did not work in our favour, and I apologise.
Exactly what happened up there?
Well, I feel I may have accidentally just killed 2 guards. Not intentionally, I just wanted to pass and...
Well, I think it was clearly my fault, wasn't it?
I do not know, Greg. All I know is the Thunderwave happened and...
We all know what happens when you use Thunderwave.
Yes, I know.
As you're kind of discussing it, you just hear Raina, if you murderers have finished blabbing around, we've got a mine that needs traveling for a temple that needs exploring. So if you'd all like to kind of get on our wave again, we can look around. Try not to kill everything that moves. Bang.
This is weird coming from you. I thought you liked killing.
I'm being sarcastic. You'll know what the fuck you want.
Yeah, I'll just carry on walking.
I guess we'll continue this later.
Yes.
As you
We could ditch this group. We're here now.
I mean, if you want. Not how I imagined this going, but none of this is so. So the entrance cabin that you're in. The entrance cabin that you're in is around about 50 foot, like, in length, and around about 95 feet in width. It is. It has 3 carts full of crystals in the top left-hand corner. It's got the lift where you're pretty much just standing off of. There are also numerous rocks that are just placed around the area itself, and numerous stalagmites. There are some mining tools in the cavern, and if you'd like to go on to roll 20, I think you should all be able to see something. You might have to scroll.
I see a black screen.
Yeah, you'll have to scroll down. Zoom out and scroll all the way down.
Oh, right. Yeah, I see it. Flipping heck.
Oh,
That's all good.
Right at the bottom.
hey, I like my mini maps.
Yeah, so it's been a long time coming since we've had one of these, but... Oh, 1 second, I just need to adjust this for the view.
I would like to investigate those letters.
E. What's E?
Adifra.
So the way that this is going to work
Speak
is...
French.
The way this is going to work is I'm not actually going to move your guys' tokens as such. I'm just going to reveal stuff as you travel, and then if things need tokening at whatever point, I will token up.
Can I? Oh no, I don't have one. Don't matter.
But yeah, you currently have, as well as the mining tools, the rocks, the stalagmites, the stalactites, and the 3 carts here. You've got an entrance or an exit to the west. You have an exit to the north, and you have an exit to the east.
Gregor,
Yes,
do you still have that infinite rope?
believe I do. Yes.
Is there only... I'm going to ask the group, basically. Do we know if there's any other exit to this place, or would this be our only exit? Anyone?
Don't ask me.
It's my first time being here.
And DM?
Say that again. Sorry, I just kind of zoned out for a second.
Sorry.
So I was trying to figure
I thought I was
something
giving
out.
us the silent treatment then.
I was trying to figure something out on a technical thing.
I was going, oh, being ignored.
Sorry, what was you asking? Sorry, guys.
So, do we know if there's any other exit to this place, or would this be the only route?
Considering it is the first time any of us have been here, Iyvak, I do not believe we would know.
Still quite pissed at you.
Okay. I was going to be the Gregor and go, maybe we should leave a trail so we can know our way back.
Good idea.
Yeah, with the rope.
Yeah, we using my rope.
Yes. Maybe tied on that post there. Just keep it trailed.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea.
Is there a post there? I'm assuming there'll be something like that near the elevator.
I would say just tie it on the elevator.
I was going to say, there's not an actual post on the elevator itself. There is a crank. There's a crank next to the elevator that it looks like people use to like pull people back up.
Oh, what about a big boulder, actually? Is there any
Maybe
boulders
maybe
around?
tie it to the crank and then it stops the elevator from being used.
I like your thinking.
Hmm.
I can do that.
We don't
Fine
want to
with
be
me.
maybe want to be followed up here.
Or by the hordes of angry Crystal Elves that still survive.
Yes.
Yes, maybe we should sabotage the elevator. No one follows. No, because nobody knows who it was us doing. So.
I'm just gonna roll something here for. Okay.
Everyone who witnessed us killing him are dead.
You say this as the entirety of the rest of the expedition group just turn around and stare at you.
Oh, did I say that loud?
Yes.
There we go.
They don't even respond, they just turn back around and start, like looking around the cavern again.
And I'll whisper. I'll whisper to Iyvak. There may have been somebody who saw us. That fellow that when we first entered.
Hey, well,
Shard light.
I don't think he saw me. Why did you do a Thunderwave anyway?
Do I hear this?
Yeah, you're all stood pretty much next to each other, so yeah. You've got a couple of seconds before, the rest of the group just get pissed off and tell you to fucking start moving again.
I didn't really have a choice again.
A choice.
Yeah, well, you see all of those crystals on the tables as we walk through. You know what happens to me when I'm away from the. I've been protected by this new mind crystal for so long. I didn't even think. Should have tied a blindfold on me. I mean, it'd probably been worth something mentioning to the group before we set up as well.
Don't one of you have one of those like little mind crystals that you tie around your neck?
But that's okay, but I wouldn't be able to use any of my magical abilities, and we are on an expedition.
You know what? We will keep this in mind from this point forth. If there's anything shiny, we need to be with you.
Right, roll a con check as you roll a con save.
I'm only saying this because there are a lot of shiny things around me now, and something's happening inside me, Iyvak. Something's happening and it's really bad.
Roll a con save as you see the three. You're not affected by the ones in the walls, but the ones that are in the cart.
19.
They don't belong to anyone, do they?
Still counts as theft. Regardless, though, Rag, you see them in the cart. You feel the longing, the urge to get them. But you kind of batter it down. After seeing the horrific events that unfolded in the floors above, you kind of batter it down enough.
Yeah. The crystals downstairs belong to somebody.
Well, keep your strength. You are a strong individual. I'm sure you can keep your strength in your hands to yourself.
That's not the case here.
Then wear the new mind.
You hear like a bit of a fruit as Ebchar makes his way back towards you. You might all be strong, physically, mentally, whatever. We must be making haste.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's move then. Greg, rope.
Oh yes, I just tie the rope onto the. What was it? The crank?
Yeah.
Just tie it in, and I just put the infinity rope just on my back.
Okay.
And start walking.
So I am going to, because the infinity knot, if you remember, the entire thing about the infinity knot is that it gives you an infinite amount of rope, but it's all knotted up and tangled and shit. So any dex checks or saves that you've got to do will be at a disadvantage, because as you're kind of like unfurling this, it's like getting caught and pulling you back and everything like that.
Right, I think you all should go in front of me, and I'll follow pursuit.
Okay, we'll share the load We'll share the load.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
So yeah, you guys can go north, east, or west. Which route do you take?
Is Amrius not taking the lead?
Amrius is talking angrily to Ebchar.
I do believe we need to wait for the group leader to make a decision.
I just go north.
Well, it looks like someone's made a decision anyway. As you head north, Amrius notices that you are all starting to head north, so he also follows suit. So again, as you're heading up north, you see that you are all... There we go. You see that you are all basically kind of like funneling into a long corridor. The long corridor is only about 8 feet wide, so you're not actually able to truly kind of like stand next to each other for it. There is a single new mine crystal there is a single new mine crystal like embedded into the wall, and in front of it, or a little further down should I say, is a cart with mainly blue and yellow new mine crystals in. Rag, roll me a con save, please.
I'm watching him all the time here.
Natural 20.
You see them and you're just like, they look good. That's it, that's all you feel. God, they look good. You can either get in forward.
Do we need to blindfold you?
I'm heading forward, Iyvak. I'm doing it. Look, I'm doing it. I've left it.
I'm doing it, Iyvak. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You're doing it, right?
Maybe I should wear the new mine crystal.
Or blindfold. Or...
I can't wear a blindfold down here.
Good point.
Okay, so you can either head north or east as you've gone through this large, expansive area.
North! I just keep saying north.
Does anybody have the new mine crystal?
Oh,
I
No, I don't have it. I last Bimit had it last. So
Oh
it's not
yeah,
for everyone.
you lot had it with the dragon, haven't you?
Bimit had the black new mine crystal, just to point out, not the pink one.
I think I
Oh
got it.
yeah, of course, yeah.
The black one negates the pink new mine crystal. The pink new mine crystal negates
Yes,
magic.
I've got it. So sorry, Reg. I thought you had it. Here you go.
Thank you. Put it over.
Okay, so yeah, suddenly, Rag, you feel like a vroom as all of your magical power is contained. Gregor, did you say you wanted to go north, sorry?
Yep, I just keep saying north!
Alright, so as you continue heading north, you reach another entranceway. It is only a small room, really. So it is, what, about 25 feet by about 30 feet. There are, again, numerous mining carts just kind of placed across the sides, against all of the walls. There are quite a few white new mine crystals embedded into the walls of different sizes and shapes. There are quite a few rocks. There's also one rock smack in the centre, a very small one, just kind of... Whilst the carts and the side crystals that are emanating light outwards, they kind of fade off quite quickly. So the single one that's in the centre just kind of shines a very dim light outwards, kind of like almost drawing towards it.
Like a dead end.
Fantastic. Dead ends are good ends. It's another corner down.
Alright, I'm gonna head back.
As you head back, you're kind of like shoveling around, and as you're doing that, you kind of like pushing past Dravlan, who's just. He seems to hiss like they're just careful with where you are going.
Sorry, just getting by. Dead end, sorry.
Yeah, you just.
Hey, watch it. Where the hell are you going?
Dead end, sorry. Went the wrong way.
Why am I not surprised that you've given us a dead end?
I don't know where I'm going, I'm just going north.
Yeah,
But why did you lead the way, then, Ebchar?
Well, you are doing the wrong voice there. I was doing Amri's there. Well, you are the protectors of this group, are you not? How about
Yes,
you
yes,
show us
but you're-
how good you are at protecting by leading us through these dangerous mines?
Yes, well, you two are the leader of this expedition, so how about you lead?
I'm leading. Actually, roll persuasion.
Indeed, Ragnarok.
$21.
You know what? I don't think he's gonna beat that, but I'm just gonna check. Let me find out his stats. 21, you say?
Yeah.
Epcha. You'll never believe it, but you guys are equal.
21.
He rolled a 14 and he's got a +7 on his persuasion.
What does that mean?
I'm not actually sure because it's not really like an attack, is it? I'm
Well,
gonna
They're
say
just
that
gonna
you're.
do a mental stare at each other.
I'm gonna say that you're both deadlocked. It's like you know, like when you see in cartoons and anime where there's two really like pig-headed
Two
people.
electrical things just
Yeah,
go-
just like. Iyvak and Gregor, you can just see Rag and Ebchar just staring each other down.
Well, I'm getting angry then if he's doing that, aren't we?
All right.
People, I'm detecting a slight low morale at this point in time. Would I
What
be
made you
correct?
think that low morale or the low ceiling on the top level?
Right.
Or
We
the
either have-
lower ceiling on the top level?
We either have to get over this, or we'll go separate ways.
Well, we certainly can't get under it, can we? It's already below ground and collapsing fast.
Yes. Very clever. Can we agree just to get what we came here for?
Very well. Lead on, he says to Gregor, who I'm assuming is still going east.
Yep, I'm just fixing my nose.
I'll just say to Ragnarok, I'll go, we'll leave it to fate. We'll follow Greg. It looks like he has as much idea as the rest of us.
So as you
Probably
guys,
got more of a
Dead end.
chance, to be honest.
Yes, I know what you mean. My patience is getting stretched rather thin as well.
I mean, just to point out, you guys are the ones who carried out a genocide.
I know. I've never liked this guy anyway.
No, that is fair. You do have that point. You head further down the tunnel again, and on your left-hand side, there's another small white crystal embedded into the wall. Heading out, it kind of expands again a bit wider. There is one of the mining carts pressed against the wall, with 3 more crystals emanating light outwards.
I don't mean I don't
that
like the
it?
way
Is
you
that
act.
dead end?
I
No,
just
no,
don't like the carrot.
I
I don't
get
like
you.
the carrot.
I get you. No, I understand.
Is there a bit more, or is this a dead
Yeah,
end?
no, that's just as far as you can see. So you can either continue
Okay.
heading north, or there seems to be like a bit of an opening slightly to your south.
East. I just say east, and then just keep your head east.
Listen,
Yeah.
Gregor, we will follow you. You don't have to keep shouting out the compass at every corner.
Just making sure. I don't want to lose
Yep.
anyone.
Agreed. It's fantastic.
So
We've got the
east,
will.
you say?
Yes.
So you continue heading up around another corridor again, and you come out into another expanse. Once again, it's another small corridor. You can still just hear that of the ground moving underneath you. But once again, there are crystals on both sides of the wall, and a mining cart pressed against the wall. Next to the mining cart are numerous tools that look relatively old. Some look okay-ish, a lot of them look old, some of them look very rusted. Which is a bit... whoever wants to, roll me an intelligence check, please.
Nah, I don't think I will.
Yeah, I'll do it. No, sorry.
No.
No?
Okay.
I mean, it's your guys' call.
I'll go for it then. Might as well.
8.
Okay, Rag, nothing out of the ordinary about rusted tools for you.
Yeah, 9.
Gregor, nothing out of the ordinary for rusted tools for you.
There's a load of rusted tools.
We can all do it. Sorry.
Yeah, you can if you want, yeah.
It's just a bit.
I'll tell you about just one.
So yeah, no.
15.
Okay, so 15.
Here we go. Grey matter here.
Well, someone else got much better than that, but doesn't matter. 15 gets you this.
Sorry, he'll be dead soon.
I mean, the rate you guys are going. So, you find it a bit odd that the tools that are on the floor, or some of them at least, are rusted, seeing as you were told that, at most, the temple only appeared around about a month ago at the very, very most. So, if this had been abandoned for a month, why are the tools rusted?
Is there running water?
Would you say that Ebchar just kind of looks around, and he kind of looks at you and looks around again? Once that is a good question, Rag. But unfortunately not, no. There is the occasional dripping of the water, and almost as if to prove a point, you just hear it in the background. But if you look around the sediment around the excavation area, there's no damp patches, there is no wet patches here, nor is there running water. It's quite peculiar. Kind of kneels down, and as he does, Raynor just kind of shoves past and kneels down as well.
Weird. Looks like it's only rusted in patches. If it was water, it would have rusted and probably spread as the water ran down. So, I'm not quite sure what's in all this, guys, but I suggest... Well, we ignore it, it's fine. Bit of advice never hurt anyone, right?
I just say onward, and then I'll just carry on.
Okay, do you head back into the corridor that you headed back from? Do you basically
No,
head...
I go south this time.
Okay, so as you turn to your south, you realise that it is another opening. It is a very small opening with 2 crystals embedded into the wall and 2 mine carts kind of pressed against the wall, just gently glistening in an ethereal glow. There are some more mining tools next to them. You can roll me an investigation check if you wish on these.
Go on then.
I mean, you can roll investigation checks whenever you want, but yeah, specifically on these if you wish.
Investigation. SPI, yeah, there it is. 10.
It's just a cart full of new mine crystals and some tools that are scattered around.
I'll have a look. It's 25.
Okay, so as the like cavern around you still and groans and shifts, Rag, you notice that kind of like on one side of one of these carts, it's kind of rusted and spread upwards. Again, weird that it's spreading upwards, not downwards. It seems to have been quite rapid too.
Do you think there's magic here that's causing this rust?
Good question, Gregor. With that, I'll go ahead and cast Detect Magic.
Okay, just read that
Take
one
the
out.
new, yes, take the new mine off.
Yeah, I was going to say, take the new mine off. Immediately roll me a con save, please, because you're next to two of the mining carts.
First. 13.
Oh.
Con save.
Okay, I'm going to have to check that then, because that's not quite an easy yes or no. You feel the compulsion once again, right? Compulsion to steal some crystals.
Iyvak, I need to take it. I'll grab 2 of the crystals.
Yep, just take it. Are we going this way? I'm going to point everyone into the other way while he's doing
Put
that.
it down my top.
So as that happened, Rag, as you kind of take the crystals, you hear like, as you like yank them, just like a ching, ching, ching. And then silence falls. Where were you saying to go, Iyvak?
I'll just point him back.
So it's the main cavern.
Yeah, I was just getting everyone's attention going, come on then, let's move this way. As I'm saying that and everybody's looking at me, you can
No, that's fair. That is completely fair.
do his theftery.
As you... That's one way of putting it. As you make your way back to the main cavern, in silence again, you get to the main cavern and nothing seems to have moved, nothing seems to have changed. However, you then hear like from the walls around you, and you start hearing a like scratching noise from the walls and from the floor below you.
Everybody?
Can I look up at the elevator?
You can. What are you wanting to see?
Is anything coming down? Or
Nothing's
going
coming.
up?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing that you can see is coming down. The lift is still on the level that you're on. Again,
Right.
though, you hear like. And everyone roll a perception check for me, please.
Can I use my elbow telepathy to detect life?
You can if you wish.
I'm still wanting to do my Detect Magic on these.
Nothing magical. There's no magic spells, no magic contraptions or anything like that.
16 for me.
19 for me.
Sorry, what was the roll for?
Perception.
10, 12.
So, Iyvak, you're too busy putting your helm of telepathy on, trying to detect if anything's there. Gregor, what did you get again, sir?
16.
16, and Rag, you got 19.
Yes.
So all you three are kind of like tunneled into this large cavernous expanse as you're hearing Amrius, Ebchar, Amrius, Ebchar, Boo, and Redmond have all, at this point, after hearing the noises, they didn't really think too much of them, and they've started heading to the west. They've already started going, basically. Dravlan, Raynor, and Fu are with you. And they're kind of... So, Boo and Raynor are kind of like stood back to back. Like, even though they don't get on well from what you've seen, all the arguments and stuff, they can feel that there's some things approaching, and they've instantly got into a defensive back-to-back stance. Dravlan is stood behind them both, and Euphor are in front.
Right, can I drop my infinity rope and then just ready my sunblade?
You can, yes. So you drop the rope and just kind of pull out your sunblade. As you pull it out of its hilt, it kind of into light. As you're pulling it out of the hilt, the blade kind of like takes brilliant form, and you swish it out, leading like almost like a trail of light across. As you do that, and as the light kind of settles, on the ground in front of you, directly in front of you, within like 5 feet or so in front of you. Sorry, let me just sort this out. So in the ground, yeah, like 5 or so feet in front of you, you see kind of like a mound starting to appear, just, and the dirt starts pooling upwards. Rag, you got 19, did you say, sorry?
Yep.
So with a 19, you see that in one of the walls to the northwest, near where the mining carts are, similar to the one that Gregor can see directly in front of him, there's a bit of a burrow appearing, just kind of like a as the ground starts breaking apart, you can hear like a clicking noise happening. Rag, as you're looking around, you see in the northwest where the carts are, similar to Gregor when he was getting when he was getting his sunblade out, and he noticed the mound of dirt starting to appear. You also notice in the wall, essentially, another mound starting to come out. As the ground itself breaks, you just hear like a clicking noise.
I think we've got creatures.
So yeah, Rag, you think that you hear the coming from the mining area, and Gregor, you see the mound starting to come, and again, but then the mound stops and it retreats. Everyone roll perception again, as you hear are all around you, essentially echoing off the caverns, just
Natural 20.
2.
Nat 1.
natural 1 was that?
It is, yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
What's this for?
It was perception, because you've now lost track of them.
Yeah, I am doing my detect life with my helm, you know.
Yeah, you are. And again, all you can hear is...
Oh, right, I didn't hear that before.
No, did it cut out that time?
We didn't hear that before. We saw you just go... that's it. It's like...
Well, it's great that the amount of times during these sessions that I've been trying to do really good, creature sound effects, and it's just been silence. Yeah. And me pulling fun faces is great. Okay, so yeah, Iyvak, that's all you can hear.
Mm-hmm.
What did you two get again? Sorry, what did you get, Rag?
I got a 2.
Natural 20.
Okay, so yeah, Iyvak and Rag, you have both lost track of them. Gregor, you, however, your eyes are kind of like following around, and you see like a slight bulge underneath the northern entrance, and then you see it go, and again you see like this mound of earth start kind of like pushing outwards from the northeastern wall, just kind of burrowing once again, and as the walls of the cave start burrowing outwards. Finally, you see like a long claw, kind of like yellow and sharp, just reach out. The claws are very large, and each of the fingers are quite spindly but incredibly sharp. It pulls the earth to the side, and again you hear before you see.
Where is this again?
It's to the north. It's to the north east. Around. Oh, I'm in the wrong layer again. So around this area.
Right, can I just look at that end and just literally just put my hand out and I'll do, what's it called? My spell. No, not spell, action. My guiding bolt.
Yeah, go for it. Roll to hit.
Uh, 21.
That will hit. Roll your damage.
4d6.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes. 4. 6.
That's 10.
11. 15.
15 damage. Okay, so yeah, you see this earth start to fall away, and you hold out your hand, and suddenly a beam or like a crackle of lightning happens. You just hear, and this bright light just in a split second reaches from your hand and straight into the actual cave wall. The wall itself just explodes in a flurry of stone, and dust just kind of swirls upwards, and as it drops down, you now finally see the face of the thing that has been hunting you for the last couple of minutes. You see, as the earth falls away, you see kind of almost like the face of a beetle with two giant mandibles, like curving out with serrated edges, two smaller ones just clicking together, two large bug eyes, and kind of like antenna. Its arms, very swollen, covered in like plate, just kind of claw its way through, and again its like back is again covered in this large yellow shell, its eyes kind of like darting around everywhere. You can see as well that there's two smaller eyes which almost look ape-like in the center of its head, as well as the two large bug eyes. As it opens its mouth again to you see row upon row of sharp teeth. It kind of launches itself out, and you see that this creature is incredibly well, like it's very muscular. It is very dangerous looking. It has pretty much at this point in time just clawed its way out.
I don't like the look of this, guys.
Again, just
Well, then let's get it.
What was that, sorry?
To squash.
Well, then let's get it.
As you say that, and you can see it come out, you can see again, yeah, their arms and legs are both covered in this chitinous plate armor. It looks like they've got gills on the side. As you're saying, let's get it, again, roll a perception check, everyone, please.
9.
21.
21, I believe. What was it?
Perception, please.
Yeah, 21.
Okay, so Rag, you're just kind of focused on the creature in front of you. Iyvak and Gregor, from behind you and slightly to your left, you hear more as another mound of earth appears. And again, two clawed hands reach up as this large, chitinous creature just crawls out from behind you. And you see another one of these creatures.
Behind us. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As you all are looking around. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, can I take a shot at this one?
I'll let you have one shot. Yes. What are you gonna do?
Okay.
Heavy crossbow straight into its body actually.
Okay. And you do this just like milliseconds after Gregor shoots his guiding bolt. So roll to hit.
Um, 10.
So yeah, you see this large hulking creature, this dark yellow hulking creature with large mandibles and bulky arms just clamber its way out, and almost instinctively you get your large crossbow and you shoot, but just misses by quite a bit and just into the wall behind it. As it claws out and you hear like the guiding bolt, both of these creatures just kind of shuffle themselves up, raise themselves to full height, around about 7 or 8 feet tall, taller than all of you, very bulky, and you just hear, as they both open their mouths, you just say, as they both screech in anger and hunger at you, and you see yourselves facing down 2 large umber hulks.
The Reaper, the Maelstrom, and the Thief is a Dungeons & Dragons show by RollCast. Episode 11, Rock You Like a Thunderwave, featured JB as Ragnarok, Coogan as Gregor the Last, Gareth Ryan as Iyvak Mileart, and Tom Crabbe as the DM. Intro, midpoint, and outro music was provided by JB, and editing and sound mixing was done by Tom Crabbe. As usual, we would like to give thanks and credit to the following for allowing us to use their tracks: Adrian von Ziegler, Alexander Nakarada, Avery Alexander, Kevin McLeod, Michael Gelfie Studios, Scott Buckley, Sword Coast Soundscapes, and The Seventh Midnight. Full links to all tracks used are in the episode description, so if you like what you heard, then please check out these amazing artists. If you like what we do, and you want to show your support, then check out our socials. Follow our Facebook page at facebook.com/castthatroll. Follow and tweet at us on Twitter using the handle @castthatroll. And subscribe to our YouTube channel using the handle @castthatroll. You'll be able to get episode updates and random bits of lore and information on both Twitter and Facebook, and our YouTube page has all of the current episodes up in a visual format. Don't want to watch but you still want to listen? We got your back. Look for RollCast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Good Pods, and all other podcast platforms. Thanks again for joining us for another session. We're now back to our usual release schedule, so we'll see you for episode 12, An Unexpected Shortfall, on Wednesday the 10th of May.
We don't want another market of rust again.
Thunderwave!
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get 13 crystals in one go here. I can't really see any other way around it.
Oh, hello, Thunderwave, my old friend. It's time to see if we can make sound bend.
So, I haven't got any anything to throw.
I mean, I can't look down on you. I've well and truly fucked it up my end.
We've got
Right.
2 guards to kill themselves. I've just flipping committed murder. We've just
No.
covered up a scene.
No, it was a cave quake.
The acoustics in here are terrific. The scene is quite horrific.
The meta conversation.